Hi, everybody. We have a
Ooh.
special treat today. Patty N., who is a former employee of Harvey Adelson's, and loophole lawyer Vince is back. So, welcome to the show. Thank you guys both for being here.
Wow,
I
Patty, you worked for
yeah.
Dr. Adelson?
And Vince, I didn't know you were a loophole lawyer. Now I know why you're familiar and now why you're so darn funny. I heard him with you, Judy, and with don't you date Jewish men? And all of a sudden I was almost a little bit taken aback, but then it was so hilarious. It was so hilarious. I was
Well,
going to text
Patty,
you and say, what a perv, but a perv I like. He's so funny.
Patty, we're trying to get Judy to finally date a black guy. Have you ever dated a black guy?
Well, no, but my dad was very prejudiced, and my mom was trying to counter that and trying to get me, no, don't be, So when I was in college, a very, a very prominent member of the basketball team asked me out on a date. His name was Walter Luckett. He was like 6'8" black guy. So
Ooh.
I didn't go out with him because when he came to ask me out, I actually had the measles during basketball season. So but I made sure just to tease my mom. I made sure to tell her, "Oh, you remember that guy, that Walter Luckett on the basketball team?" She's like, "Yeah." I said, "Oh, he asked me out," and she was like, "Oh, Patty!" And then I could see all her "don't be prejudiced towards blacks" went right out the window.
Oh,
She did
yeah, I
not want
know.
me to date.
What school, Patty?
I went. I got my associates at Lake Sumter Community College and my bachelor's at UCF. But this was back in my 20s when the first time I went to college and flunked out because all I did was party. And that was Ohio University in Athens, Ohio, which is
I know
also called the party school. It
the
was a
Ohio
bad
U
choice.
the Ohio University Bobcats. I know them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Patty, I didn't know these things about you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got a little bit of a wild side. It's not too bad, though.
2 minutes in, and Patty's dating the biggest black guys on campus. All right, so does anyone have any updates on the actual trial from today? Because I didn't get much info from it.
Yeah, it was actually really boring. So, I just watched some of it at 2x speed on Deep Dive True Crime. So, Judge Everett just gave the basic announcements to people, that they're not supposed to seek out any media or read up about the case or discuss it with each other. And I heard that they did pick 26 people so far who are going to go through more intense screening on Thursday. So they're still going through a preliminary screening. So things look good. And the motion to change venue was denied. So that's a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Patty, did you watch anything today?
Yeah, I started to watch the trial of jury selection, but there's so much going into the jury room and then you're not seeing anything. So I had eventually just, turned it off. Oh, see, what did I see? I saw you and Mona's part two of the two Donnas. I saw
Yeah.
that today. Oh my God, I thought I was going to bust a gut. If anybody hasn't seen that, you got to go watch it. I swear, I even think that might have beat out the twerking video. That was so awesome. You
Thank
taught
you.
us how to twerk.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Patty, for appreciating all the wackiness. And, a lot of times people think that we are just weird and unprofessional and they are so appalled at the comedy. But I think comedy is a great way to teach people about this case because there's so much to make fun of, right? Loophole.
Right, right.
Every aspect of this case has every aspect of our own lives, and we want to make fun of it. You want to make fun of Charlie only dating Asian girls. You want to make fun of this one doing that. We've all been there, except they're completely exposed.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you guys ready to jump right in?
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do is read dramatically and comedically, sort of, a jail call between Charlie, Harvey, and Donna. I think it was November 9th, 2023, 3 days after he was convicted in Dan Markel's murder. So Vince is going to be Charlie again. I
Great.
see you don't have the jail background this time. Um, did you
Oh, yeah.
delete it or something?
I forgot that I was doing that.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. You'll be convincing.
Yeah,
And
because
Patty,
Patty was telling me all these stories before we started about BBC. I didn't even know what it meant, so I had to go Google it, and then I was just getting so confused as to what we're doing. BBC. I
I
never heard of
didn't
that.
do that. I didn't say that.
okay. See, Vince goes off track and he goes off script. Okay. So don't take things seriously. We're
It's
not a
great.
bunch
I
of
like it. I think it's
we
hilarious.
are not a bunch of perverts here. This is not really family friendly, but
Dating a black guy is not perverted. I wonder whose father would have been more upset, Judy's father or your father?
I don't know. I mean, my dad had tons of black patients. He was a doctor. So, we had lots of, African Americans around in Georgia. So, I mean, I think he would have been upset no matter what if the person weren't some sort of Asian.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't blame him.
Okay. Okay. Well, we'll talk about our dating past in some other show when we're low on content. Okay. So, you
Yeah.
guys ready?
Yep.
I guess.
Okay.
Okay, well, thank you guys. Thank you all for being here and joining and stuff. So let me bring up the script and Patty will start.
Okay. You guys ready?
Yes.
Hello. This is a prepaid collect call from
Charlie.
an incarcerated individual at the Leon County Jail. This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number. To accept charges and consent to this recorded call, press 1 to reference, I think. Thank you for using Securus. You may start your conversation now.
Hi, honey.
Hey, Mom.
How's it going?
How's it going? It's going okay.
It's going. It's going. There we are. We're making progress. Progress.
So it's
Oh my God. Yeah, but I'm glad we hung up when we did because some of the places that I did have to get in touch with closed. One of them closed at 2. I mean, I said they close at 5, and then I said, you know what? That sometimes that's what happens. They'll close early on a holiday weekend. So,
Charlie, I'm here.
oh yeah, Dad is with me. Okay, you. You. Harvey.
I spoke to Benjamin H. Have you spoken?
have I spoken to him?
Have you spoken to him recently?
No, it's been forever.
Oh, since you spoke to him, okay. Well, I spoke to him, and
I'm asking, do you have a lawyer's line with him?
do you have a lawyer's line?
Only if he registers with the Leon County Jail. If he did, then I did.
Okay, then we have to find out. Call him back and see if he.
I'll call him back, and I'll ask him because there was a couple of decisions that I didn't feel comfortable making without talking to you. And then I said, you know what, Benjamin, I'd like you to talk to Charlie, and he said, okay. So I'll call him back. I'll set it up, and I'll find out if he has the number.
Talk one.
Harvey, you would love it in here because there's lots of black guys. Can we just hold on for a second? Because I don't know who Benjamin is in this story. And
Oh,
yeah,
that's the lawyer. That's his lawyer and his civil stupid disability insurance lawsuit where he was trying to get disability payments from his insurance carrier.
Right. So we know that Charlie had an insurance policy which would give him disability. A lot of these guys bank on the insurance carriers actually paying out when they need it, but that's not how insurance companies work. In my neighborhood, there's these big buildings that you will see, Patty. They have AIG, all the names of the insurance companies that you pay to. The one thing they don't do is pay out. So in this type of policy, you have to be very specific with your injury, and he thought he was going to get away with getting workers' comp because of his back injury.
Right.
It wasn't workers' comp. It was a private disability insurance policy, multiple that he had purchased from different companies. So
What would be the difference then?
well, workers' comp is totally different. I used to do workers' comp at my last law firm. So workers' comp would be if he had an accident at work, which didn't happen because he claimed that he hurt his back sitting the wrong way in a taxi in the Philippines back in January of 2016. So we know what Charlie was doing in the Philippines, and I'm sure he didn't hurt his back in the taxi cab sitting in a weird position. But so he like comes back, and later in 2016 he made his claims for 2 different insurance companies, and both those cases were voluntarily dismissed. I have a feeling, there was some sort of private settlement. Hopefully they just told him to go away.
Yeah, there probably was a small payment involved. So with regard to Benjamin then, why are they speaking about him during this time?
Well, this was 2023, so that lawsuit with Berkshire Life Insurance Company was still going on, and they had a trial date already scheduled, but ultimately the case was voluntarily dismissed. So we don't know what happened. Hopefully he didn't get a dime.
Yeah, he probably didn't. I mean, I don't even know how he'd appear if he had to.
Yeah, I mean, unless they would just let him appear by Zoom or WebEx or something. But it was pretty obvious that his claim was bogus because at the Matsuri restaurant, he even told his dad that he hurt his back when a girl in Vietnam walked on his back.
On his back, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, come on, and he didn't seem to have any back problems whatsoever. He was even talking about, riding a go-kart and, doing all these active things.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like totally lying about that, I'm sure. So,
Patty,
okay,
Patty, are you making any plans to visit Charlie in Leon County now that he's there?
Oh, no, not a chance. I would like to meet Rob Adelson. I never met him.
Yeah, but if you go visit Charlie, there's about 70% black guys there, so you have better odds.
Okay, all right. Let's get back. Okay, let's keep it clean here. Okay, where are we? Where are you?
We're at page 2. We're at Donna, I think, where you say, yeah, you must have it.
Yeah.
The cell phone number?
You must have.
I have it.
That's what this, yeah, that's what I...
Do you want to ask him if he registered a Leon County jail? I could try calling. It says there's a recording. If it's a...
Dude, hang up on me.
Oh, wait a second. Let me send him a text.
Give me a second. Let me see if I have...
That's okay.
He just has to be registered as an attorney?
Yeah, the register with the bar number. Okay, DPL. Yeah, I got it. 816-379-9626. Now, girls, have you ever tried calling any of these numbers that they give out at the trial? Because I have.
No, I wouldn't do that.
I tried to call the FBI number, and I just keep getting ring. Yeah, I actually did for the bump number. And, yeah, I have. Try it. It's a number it's a Florida area code number.
Okay. All right, let's go on. Harvey?
Wait.
Okay, wait a minute. Where am I? I have it? No. I lost my place now.
I'll check. 1 minute. I just want to finish the text. Texting him.
Calling what? I'm completely... Do you have a lawyer's line? I'll call him back and I'll talk to Charlie. And he said, okay. Oh, is that where I am right there?
Yes,
okay.
Just keep reading, please.
I'll call him back and I'll ask him because there was a couple of decisions that I didn't... No, I've already read that. Okay, I got it. Sorry about that, guys. Now, wait a second. Let me send him a text. Did we do that already?
Yes.
He has to be registered as an attorney. I'll check. 1 minute. I just want to finish the text.
Texting him.
Yeah, let me.
Do it right now.
Okay. Yeah, that's his mobile. The 816 number. Yeah, that's his mobile.
Yeah.
I'll wait. I'll wait for his text. Okay, so
If not,
okay, so I took care of that, and I sent Ramsey a couple. I think I told you I sent him a text.
okay, we're still waiting.
Waiting for an answer there.
Yeah, he spent an hour on the phone with me talking about stuff.
Oh, oh, okay. So you're good.
Yeah, he's responsive. I feel real horrible about what happened. He's got to help out, and he's on board. Just I know he's a busy guy. It's funny. I haven't spoken to him so much over the past 2 or 3 years. Like, I mean, he's a really good guy, really smart lawyer, and it's funny. I called him for the first time over the weekend after I testified,
Yeah.
just to catch up with him. And Ramsey, I need to get a drink with you in 2 weeks. We'll get together. I promise. All right, hold on. Is he actually thinking that he's getting out at this point when he's making this?
No, he's just
conversation?
talking about what he said to Ramsey before when he was hoping he was going to be found not guilty.
I know who Ramsey is, but just in case someone doesn't.
Who is Ramsey? I don't even know. It seems like
Yeah, I
some
don't know
other
either.
attorney friend of his who's been helping him.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it must be a tough situation when basically everything in your life is ceasing. Even having the properties, eventually they got to be sold, obviously. Patty, I wonder though why they sold any of their real property in Florida, given that your state is so amazing at shielding assets in real property.
I don't know, Vince, but you know what I really want to know is, have you ever dated any black women or
Yes.
nurses or a black nurse?
Yes. I mean, my dad
Judy, we got to
remarried.
give it back to him.
Yeah, but I have no problem. Yeah, I've dated black women before. I never actually. I hooked up with black women. I never steady brought one home. Not that my parents would care.
The TMI. Let's.
Can we
No, like
just
bro,
get
like
back?
no, we want to talk
We're
about.
gonna do this. I'll tell you what, I'm going to lose my place. Okay.
Okay, can we just get back to reading this? Because we get
Yes.
a lot of negative comments
Thank
when
God-
Vince
Oh, you
interrupts.
do? Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. I'm
Thank
so
God it's not
slap
NBA
happy.
season yet.
What? Okay.
Thank God the NBA hasn't started. Otherwise, Patty wouldn't be available.
That is true.
Okay. Let's get back to this instead of talking about dating lives. Okay, we're all old people here. Okay, where are we now? Okay, about Ramsey, right?
Yeah, so we don't know who Ramsey is.
If Ramsey is maybe an attorney or realtor, I think he said lawyer. He's a really smart lawyer, but
Yeah, all right.
it's hard
I
to
spent-
understand.
Let me get
Yeah.
back in. I spent tremendous amount of time talking. We've always been there. Nice guy. I promise you, we're going to get together. I wasn't sure. They were had called past weekend, like Harvey.
You're already down there. Sorry about that. So I got I spoke to Gary also, and he's going to do
You didn't check the email to see if it came in
no,
yet.
I didn't check the email.
I'm only gonna call. I'm not calling him
Oh, I know.
for the middle of the day.
Yeah, no.
He's a good person. For me, he's fine with that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know. Hold on. We'll be fine with that. We didn't get that. We didn't get
Gary.
that back yet. We're waiting for something else we haven't had a chance to ask him that yet.
Do you know what kind of tablet Charlie's talking on? Is it because they call it a tablet, but is it a cell phone, or do you guys ever see? Do you girls ever see?
I've seen
What they
pictures. Yeah, all you have to do is Google prison tablet.
Uh,
And it looks like an iPad type thing. Okay. Ready?
So he's literally holding that big thing and talking.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Okay.
it works as the phone. Okay, let's get back to it. Now we're losing our spot again. I can see all the
Okay, no
negative
worries.
comments.
oh, sorry, guys.
Okay. Charlie.
Charlie, are you doing better? Did you speak to Sky?
Charlie, you're next.
Oh, I'm doing better. I spoke to Sky and I had the wrong phone number for Sky.
You're kidding.
I was calling her. I was calling her work number in the last 2 months, and I haven't spoken to her.
Mm-hmm.
And she then, she was telling me that she was following the trial. She saw everything. She tells me she saw his friend upset with, working in Atlanta right now. Phone was not talking a while. Oh,
Yeah.
phone, she was talking a while. She
Yeah.
said that, did you ask for a change of venue? Twice. I mean, look, Dan told me a long time ago that he was told by somebody that
He was told what?
he was told that this is the biggest trial in Tallahassee since Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy was in Tallahassee?
Yep.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
didn't know that.
FSU. Yep. Chi
Oh,
Omega.
right. Yeah, right.
Chi
You're right.
Omega
Florida
sorority.
State.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Keep going, Charlie.
Actually, I mean, Charlie and Ted Bundy. Who would you rather? Who do you think is cuter?
Oh.
I'm too young to remember what Ted Bundy looks like.
Oh, sorry.
Well, they're both somewhat handsome, but Charlie has that Beetlejuice look now that I just get, I just can't. Yeah, I can't bring myself to. He's not handsome, really. He's just creepy.
Okay,
Yeah.
keep going, please.
He was. Yeah, and Law and Order, City, Order, State Capital, Florida State, Law and Order. It's good luck holding somebody who's not going to be family members in law enforcement, friends in law enforcement, or affiliated with the Florida State.
Gary was telling me about a case that he did in that kind of general area of the country, medical malpractice. And he said, listen, if it was in Miami, it would have been settled for a certain amount, and that would have been it. But he said there, it was denied. Nothing was a given. I guess they were in favor of the doctors and the hospital. So
it's this is Georgia. This is not Florida the way you think of Florida. This has the name Florida, but we got the Valdosta of Georgia news. There's no difference between here, Georgia, South Georgia.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
You see Florida, the South. This is no different than you were in South Georgia. South Georgia is 60 miles away.
Yeah, that's what Dan also said at the time. If you went up to Georgia, it wouldn't be any better. I remember him saying that a year ago.
Yeah, no, it's come down to y'all and use common sense,
Harvey?
I got, sorry. Yeah, no. Yeah, no.
Don't you hate, people that come from New York and then they move to Florida and then they start saying y'all, it drives me nuts. I see a lot of YouTubers doing it. Now, I like the word y'all, but it bothers me when people use it and they force it when they're not from the South.
I'm from Ohio and I use y'all. I think it's kind of charming, but I don't really use it a lot, but I especially use it now that I know it annoys Charlie, so I like to use it a lot.
Yeah, I used to say y'all all the time because I spent half my childhood in Albany, Georgia, and I spent a summer in Valdosta for a summer camp. So I'm very familiar with this part of the South.
How did an Asian doctor end up in Georgia?
Because that's where they needed doctors. So my dad came from Taiwan to do his residency. First, they were in Birmingham, which is where my older sister was born. Then I was born in Chicago, and my mom's cousin was already in Georgia. He's a doctor also. And he said, this is a good place to live, and they need doctors and, help treat more of the poorer, like Medicare, Medicaid type people. So that's how my dad built his practice in Georgia.
Yeah, Patty, I am prejudiced when dealing with doctors. I will only go to Asian doctors. Only.
Really?
I swear to, it used to
biased.
be Jewish doctors. I am. I'm complete. But like the Jews used to be in the medical field way more than the Asians. But now the Asians are really the ones that are doing it. I will not go to a Jewish. I only go to Asian doctors.
Okay.
I never know if he's telling the truth or not.
I don't know.
I'm really naive. I would believe everything you tell me.
Trust me, that's the
You're
truth.
pulling my leg, I think.
Yeah.
Right, let's go on.
I think
Where
he's
were we?
just joking. Okay, just like you NBA players, Patty, you and your fetish. Okay. Yeah.
Oh boy, that Walter Luckett was a real looker, though.
Oh,
Whoo,
I gotta
man.
look him up. Maybe
What's his
he's
name?
on Wiki.
His name is Walter Luckett. He was like the star, like the center, the tall guy of the team. And whenever he would make a shot, the announcer would say, "Another bucket by Luckett." And finally, someone complained, and they weren't allowed to do that anymore.
Well, why couldn't you go out with him after measles was over?
I probably could have, but he never came back and asked me out, or he didn't have my phone number, but he knew we were walking somewhere and I ran into him and I told him, I said, I went and saw your team play in Toledo because that's where I'm from. So I went home and my older brother and I went to the game and he said he thought for sure we were going to get jumped because we're sitting there cheering for OU and we're surrounded by Toledo people. It was really funny. But anyway, so I told him, and there was an article in the paper about you. It was really good. And he was just looking at me like, you could tell I was like a fangirl gushing. And he was like, "Oh, in the Toledo Plea, really?" And then he walked me all the way till I went in my dorm. And I can't remember how he knew my room number, but he somehow said he wanted to, come over sometime or ask me out. And then I'll be darned, like a week later, knock at the door. And I open up the door and it was him. And he wanted me to go out with him. And I said, and I'm in a bathrobe. And I said, well, I really can't. And I pulled my sleeve up and it's like, he's covered with red. I said, I have the measles, which is really, really contagious.
Sounds disgusting.
He beat it out. He beat it out of there immediately.
Well, at least it wasn't syphilis. Right?
Yeah.
I don't mind that measles, woman.
I had already had that treated. That wasn't a problem.
Another bucket by Luckett.
Okay, I gotta Google this guy. Maybe he's still
Walter
alive.
Luckett, yeah.
Okay, let's
Did he
all
ever
look
play
him up.
professionally?
Ohio U. I looked him up once. It was something.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know which dress, but the gray dress I did have, but since Wendy stopped wearing it, I mailed it to Skeeter Girl, so I gave it away. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get going.
Well, is there
okay?
any word on what Wendy's going to wear this trial?
No, we don't know yet, but I'm sure everybody's going to be waiting.
I pray she wears the bar mitzvah dress.
She probably would because she's so proud of herself showing those tatas.
Okay. You girls are so bad. Poor Patty. The only one she's got is Judge Everett, but I think Judge Everett's cute.
Oh, I do too. I think.
We know you do.
Those chubby cheeks and that, like he just. I don't know. Yeah, he's adorable. But you know who I really have a crush on, and the only reason I can admit this, I have the nerve to admit this, is because.
Can I guess? I mean,
yes, because
it's a guy.
Yeah.
Is he white? Well, everyone is white in this trial, pretty much. Jeff?
Not white.
Oh, hold on. Luis Rivera.
Shadrick.
Oh my
Shadrick.
God.
Thank you.
No, Luis Rivera. He is hot. And the only reason I can admit that is because I saw Kathy on Lies and Innuendos. She keeps admitting it. And I thought, okay, maybe I can go ahead and be honest.
So many women are attracted to King Tato, but I think it's because he tells the truth. He's really the only one up there, just being very honest. And
you're right. That does add to his overall appeal, but I still think he's hot.
Yeah, he's got a very attractive personality. I mean, he's 4'5" probably but the way he speaks is just very attractive, and people are attracted. Actually, one of the girls that works for us is in love with him. She wants to put money on his book somewhere, but I don't even know where he is because they're kind of keeping it a secret.
No, he was at the Mary Hanna Federal Correctional Institute.
Oh, so then she could do it. I mean,
Yeah, you can look it up.
Yeah.
Did he get switched to a state prison yet?
I don't think
Luis Rivera, did he come from federal to state yet?
Not yet, because the last time I checked, which was about a month ago, he was still at the federal prison. So I don't know if he's been moved recently.
Right.
Well, now he's in Leon County, but I'm not sure where he after that.
You're not impressed that I guessed the exact guy that you thought was attractive?
You only guessed once wrong, but it's because you thought it was white. Yeah, you did good. How did you know that?
Because I've heard a lot of women make the same exact statement.
Really? I only ever heard Kathy say that.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. Okay, have you watched Auntie Deb? I've seen him on Kathy's show.
I don't
gossip
know what
rumor.
anti-deb is
I don't
because
know who
It's
Auntie
this
Deb is.
guy. It's this, I think he is gay, but I'm not 100% sure. But he's so hilarious. And he comes on to Kathy's show, Gossip Rumor Innuendo. And they both cover true crime with a very comedic slant. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I didn't know
because
he was reacting to Vince's videos, though. So let's all check him out.
Turtle Boy is doing a show, a live show with a guy or girl named Auntie Deb. I don't know what the show is going to be, but that's the name that he's.
No,
I guess,
Auntie Deb
doing.
is a man.
Well, I guess it's a guy that he's doing with. I don't know. I don't know what Turtle Boy's up to, but I just saw that they were trying to sell tickets for it.
Okay, cool. Okay, you guys want to get back to that?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
Not
where
really.
are we now? Now we're forgetting where we are.
Let's fast forward to the end. The whole
I think
script.
I already did at the top of page 5. I think I already did the Gary. Gary was telling me about a case. This is Georgia. You're right. You're absolutely right. And then I think, is that where we're at? Charlie, where he says UC Florida, UU and South?
Yeah, so Charlie, just go
We
ahead
already
and
did-
read that. UC
Yeah.
Florida.
Hold on one second, because I don't have that spot. But I heard your interview with the girl that was friends with Katie, and she was saying that
Yentra.
Katie got she got an associate's degree from UCF. But I don't know any major universities that give out associate's degrees.
Yeah,
No,
I think,
it's 2 year.
yeah. What I recall is that she wasn't really sure if Katie had graduated from college because, they don't talk about those types of things. And she lost touch with Katie during that time in college. But Katie got pregnant by accident with Sigfredo when she was 19. So she probably did drop out of college.
Yeah, and I always caution everyone that all these stories don't start with their lives. It's something that happened in their parents' lives, their grandparents' lives, and it really fast forwards all to this. Because even when you were interviewing her, you were hearing how they left the dad in the middle of the night. Now you have a woman without a dad, a kid growing up without her dad, and there are issues that will come of it. Even King Tato has his own family issues. So we like to judge people based upon their current actions, but there are things that took place in the past that lead to where they're going. It's no excuse for the wrongdoing, but you have to at least empathize with that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Because
Yes.
not everyone has a rich doctor from Taiwan as their dad.
Okay. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have brought that up, huh? But, that's
right,
my
so-
family story. So I can't change what kind of family I came from. So, yeah. Loophole, are you left-handed?
Right-handed. The whole script, the whole case, I was 2-hour Dateline session with autopsy photos left on the screen. Yeah, did you guys see that? Girls see that? That you can still see Dan Markel's autopsy photos, and is actually the photos from right after he was shot on the first trial. They still have it up on YouTube.
Oh,
Did
no,
you
I
ever see
didn't.
it?
No, I
Did you-
didn't.
I
Because
thought they didn't. I thought they didn't show those pictures on YouTube.
They did. They're not supposed to, but they're up
Right.
there. And now, if channels aren't big enough, then they're not going to get the actual flag. Also, because they were videoing the screen in the trial, so it's not necessarily like being depicted as a video, which their automated system would pick up. But yeah, you can still today go. It's
Yeah.
one of the first few doctors that testified at trial number 1, and you could see the pictures of. I mean, he had a tube up his nose, but you could still see the face. It's still up there today.
Yeah, I don't think I really want to look for those pictures. That sounds
I
so
don't either.
awful. But Vince, people are saying your audio is too low. Is there any way you can
Yeah, I
adjust
can
that?
turn up. Let me
Yeah.
know when if it goes too high, then I
No,
don't
that
wanna,
sounds good.
Yeah,
That
no,
sounds good.
it sounds good over here, but on the YouTube, it can go as high as well. But I don't want when it pops.
Yeah. Okay, I think that sounds good.
Well,
Okay.
another bucket for Luckett. Let's get back to the.
Okay, let's go. Go. Get this over
Okay.
with.
Yeah. I don't know
You're
where we are.
Ago, you don't have evidence to sue. You can say you have jurors you think rich Jews from Miami that are crazy, and use your common sense. They hate you. Made it.
I think you just jumped a bunch of lines.
Yeah,
So
I'm trying to get through this.
can you start with
Ugh.
I know he is sitting there. I looked at Kate.
I know he's sitting there. I looked at Kate and I go, this has got good. And like when she did that, remember, like I was sitting there, I was writing on Post-its to Dan, like I'm like, holy, like I'm watching this happening before my eyes. And I'm like, I went from a trial to Dateline.
Yeah, that's right.
Like it turned into, and it's funny, the commentary that I heard on the radio said was like, oh, she did a masterful performance, she made out like a movie that you could see.
Yeah.
The whole script, the whole case, it was a 2 hour Dateline session with autopsy photos that were left on the screen for minutes. The same photo was used multiple times. Like, why not just sit there for a half hour and just leave that up on your backdrop?
Why not?
You don't even have evidences, so you can have jurors that think rich Jews, Miami, they're crazy, and use your common sense. They hate you. Made it seem like we hated people in Tallahassee. All right, now they don't have to like you. Yeah, they don't have to like you, but sure the hell you can't hate. Do you realize one thing? You'll never hear this, and I told Judy the last time. You never hear him deny the fact that he didn't do it, ever. It's like every other excuse in the book except for, I'm innocent, I never did this.
Yeah,
How could they possibly convict an innocent person? And
yeah, yeah.
yeah, and Charlie is the son of a narcissistic Jewish mom, and I can relate to that somewhat because my mother-in-law, I was telling you before the show, is very similar to Donna. Luckily for me, though, they don't have a brother in the family. I was saying, Patty, that my wife doesn't have a brother, luckily for me. But otherwise, I wouldn't be here. I mean, they're literally the same family.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that. You know what? Keep your distance. Don't let toxic people interfere with your life.
Well, I'm sort of married to their
I
daughter,
hey,
so
I had to distance myself from my own family because they were so abusive. Alcoholics, incest, you name it. My family was very sick, and and there've been people that have really criticized me and have said, you won't see your own mother. Your kids don't get to see their own grandmother, and you know what? If you're not in my shoes, you don't know how bad it can be with these sick, dysfunctional people that want nothing more than to stab you in the back and then give it a twist.
Oh,
So,
that's
who was
horrible.
your
so
parents were
yeah,
alcoholics or just your mom?
my dad was an alcoholic, and my mom, I believe, was bipolar, undiagnosed, and
What would he
refused
drink?
refused medication. Beer, he would just drink. I think he was so unhappy in his marriage, he'd just drink until he got just drunk and buzzed, and then he
Well,
would
yeah,
say inappropriate things. And
Pat, no one's happy in their marriage, and obviously that's why alcohol is so great. But if he's drinking to the point where he's being abusive to you, is that what was going on?
towards the end, it was just in terms of what he said. Like he would say, the incest was not with him; it was with my older brother, who was a criminal. But he would
Who
say
is he?
things
Who
like,
is your older brother? Well, yeah, go ahead.
I have two older brothers, and one of them was always getting into trouble since he was 12. He was in and out of juvie, then he was in and out of prison, and then he was a registered sex offender. And he had assaulted me twice, once as a 10-year-old child and once as an adult, the night of my mother's funeral. And I think we should probably get back to the story, but yeah,
No,
it was.
psychologically, the funerals are an aphrodisiac for people. Now, I never heard it being in terms of incest, but that's odd that as an adult, were you able to at least fend them off, or did you go with it?
No, no, I fought him off. Yeah, I
Okay.
fought him off. I fought him off. He didn't. Well, yeah, I don't want to go into the details. There was some assault, and but mostly I fought him off. I can't really. I did get counseling. I had to get counseling over this. It was just so devastating. But every now and then, if I'm thinking about it or talking about it, like, I have nightmares. I have nightmares about it, and I'll start screaming in my sleep, and my husband will come over and like wake me up. And
Oh,
yeah, it's.
okay.
Well,
I'm
sometimes
like,
it's Luckett. Sometimes she's dreaming about Luckett, and you would scream too, because if he's a
well,
center, he's pretty big.
oh yeah.
I mean, for those of you who don't know, the centers are the biggest black guys on the team, and generally everything is in proportion. I know because I've showered with a lot of black guys, not on the basketball team, but on the football team.
Okay, come on. Vince, they keep saying you still need to turn up your microphone. Is there a way to do that?
I could keep turning up, just don't let it pop on me, then I'd be mad.
Okay. 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 Thank you. Okay. Do you have more than one Puma hat, Vince?
I do, but I have a contract with Puma, and like I told you before, that's basically lifetime. So I have to wear something that's created with Puma and has to have the logo on it somewhere. So this is the one I wear. I signed a
Okay.
really bad deal. It wasn't for a lot of money, but it was for in perpetuity.
Okay. Okay. Let's get back to this. Okay. I mean, we're just
That's
totally
what we
going.
call white people problems around here.
Okay. Yeah. Not having enough Puma hats. Yeah. Okay. Go on.
Oh, you want to go back to so
Let's
we were
get back
back
to the transcript.
yeah, so I mean
Where are
Charlie
we?
yeah, Charlie's
Wait,
blaming the fact that he's in Tallahassee, not the fact that he had his son-in-law,
murdered
sorry, his
someone. Yeah.
Or brother-in-law
brother-in-law kid. Yeah,
murder.
it's everyone else's fault but his. Yeah, but any
Didn't you miss the last couple of sentences? Like they were just told by Kappelman.
yeah, they were just told by Kaplan that we hate them, dot on the map on the way to civilization. Yeah, but any
Um,
That's so.
I think Janice has Aloha coming out tomorrow,
yeah.
and we have to ask Janice. I think we have to stop. We have to stop at your house on Saturday.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I will. I'll ask her what's a good time because we already have to. We have to go up to Fort Lauderdale on Saturday to see Jairus. As long as we're heading in that direction, try to take care of that. And
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah, get the stuff out the safe.
for yeah, get some
Yeah, get some
stuff.
stuff.
Get some stuff.
Yeah.
Patty, do you have anything in your life that's embarrassing if you died today that you would be embarrassed about? And I'll say this because when I was in law school, my roommate had a box of lesbian porn. It was the VHS tapes back then. And
You
we made a
mentioned
pact-
this before already,
Well, I
dude.
didn't tell Patty this, that we made a pact that if he died, I would go and get it and throw it out so his parents wouldn't find it.
Well, I don't have a pact with anyone, but in my closet, like in the back in a box, I have a stack this high of black porn. I love it. I can't get enough
I
of
knew
it.
it. I knew it.
Why are we talking about this, guys? This is like totally
I knew-
going off the rails. Oh my god, I can see all the negative comments coming.
Well, that's
Sorry,
interesting, Patty,
sorry,
because
guys, if I'm being too crude.
no, it's okay. I worked with
It's Vince. It's Vince. He's got me amped up.
I worked
Vince
with a
brings
guy
this out of us.
whose dad was very prejudiced, and then when he died, he had a whole stack like Patty of black porn magazines, and like every other word was the N word, and but when he died, they find this out.
Okay, shall we get back to the script? I'm trying to get through it.
I don't know. I think Patty's more interesting than the
Okay,
script.
well, we'll talk with Patty more after we get
Yeah,
this
let's get this
done.
finished up.
Do we need
Yeah.
Focalin? Do you need some ADHD medicine or something? So, Xannies.
all right.
Okay,
Where are
let's-
we?
Where are we? See?
Uh,
Okay, get stuff out of the safe for get some stuff.
yeah.
Is it magazines you have, or DVDs, or something else?
Please
Wouldn't you
stop
like to know? Wouldn't you
interrupting.
like to know?
Well, that's
Hey,
why I'm
what?
asking.
This
You
is
get-
really embarrassing.
If you give me your address, I could send you one of my DVDs. I would like.
My address is my home address is 90 William Street
No.
in New York, but you can send it to my office as well. I always give Patty. I've been in this thing so long. I've been doxxed. I've had the cops at my house. People call them on me like, "Oh yeah."
Oh
I've been
my
over-"
God.
So when people give me Judy reads me like these negative comments, I'm like, "That's it," like it's nothing. They didn't even give out my social security number, which has been done before, on a loop in a video for a month
Well,
at a
yeah,
time.
but it's maybe it's nothing to you, but it's something to her because she doesn't want to tick off her the viewers. And
Well, no,
I
I
don't know.
mean, you're being
Everybody
very
doesn't have
open.
this sense of humor, so they might want us to get back to.
Yeah, let's
like-
get back to
Why
the
would you go
topic.
ahead? I
Let's
love
see.
it.
Should we read the jail call that we all heard 40 times, or
No.
learn more about your black porn stash?
Look,
Well,
it's not going to take that long if you would just stop interrupting and breaking character, okay? This is, you certainly have ADHD.
I am not
This
gonna
is
say-
like Charlie.
Someone wanted me to say, "Thank God your brother didn't play center for the basketball team," but I think that's crude.
Okay, let's get back to it, okay?
anytime you ever have Vince on, I would love to be on too.
Okay, well, after the trial, we'll have nothing else to talk about,
Okay,
so you
yeah.
guys can just come on and
Yeah, is
say all
anyone
sorts
else?
of-
This is the last time, but are you girls scared about what you're gonna do with your life after this trial is over?
No, Not really, because I feel like I've been neglecting a lot of things. Like I haven't vacuumed my home in a long time, and there's
Yeah,
dust building up on my
me too.
blinds. I need to dust. I need to clean out the closets. Like my house has become a filthy mess because of this case, and I'm sitting here for hours talking about the case. So
Yeah, and
we got stuff to do.
thank God this will be the last case. Obviously, Wendy's not going to get arrested or Harvey,
Oh,
so this
come
is going to be
on.
it.
Let's not open up that can of worms, you
All right, let's
windy
get back to it.
apologist. Typical older white male. Yeah. Okay, let's get back to this.
Okay.
Oh, what was it? Okay, so
Uh,
Charlie says, by the way, there's something
Stuff
I
out
don't.
of the safe.
Okay.
for, yeah, get some stuff.
Yeah.
By the way, there's something that what's her name? The Anna gave Janice from me that was buds.
We oh we already have that. What's that? What Anna gave Janice? That was buds. We already have it here. We already have it here in a home.
Okay, yeah, we've taken that different time. Yeah, okay, I got.
Yeah, I got it.
We have everything. Everything here. Except, something that's bigger, right? Yeah. So we'll have to go up and get that. And,
So,
mm, oh, yeah.
Listen, I'm just, I mean, I'm fine really. I'm not. I think that thing that just got me with the countdown and thinking that everything was going great till I realized it wasn't.
Well, you know what? It was. It was. Until the end.
I don't even know if it was that. To be honest with you, when the jury came in on Monday, one thing Dan said to me, he said the jury usually made up their mind before the closing argument, but I can honestly tell you, if anyone was on the fence, you just watched a 2 hour special on Dateline. That was like, it was like a podcast, like an Asian American podcast that wasn't a trial.
It's interesting to me what you did just did before that, though, that you were listening to this radio host, and he basically described it the same way.
Yeah, he described it as, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, yeah, you're clear.
Okay, he described it like she put it together in a movie, put it all together with a timeline, let you see it, let you felt where you're watching a movie when you're putting it together, and like Dan brought up trial points, she just brought up amount of cut and paste. He's buying his father a birthday present. Yeah, no shit. My dad's birthday is in 5 weeks. That's not off. What you're off 11 months away, 5 weeks away, but like she put the spin on it. The Kappelman spin, there's no evidence. It wasn't like they had something to say, oh, look, he did it. It was the Kappelman spin. And it was like cut and paste text message. He look, hey, put kissy face, kissy face. Like I used the kissy face on every single Asian broad I was banging. I know, like, like, oh my God, you put a kissy face and it's the end of, I mean, I just say that the guard who like bought me some food. Oh my God, you're amazing. Thank you so much. Okay, do I really think she's amazing? No, she's just another Asian broad I'm banging. She's doing her job. She just has to open the hatch or snatch.
Right. Vince,
L-
you're not reading
Like it's just,
correctly.
You're adding
um,
lines.
oh yeah, sorry, I can't. These aren't the best glasses.
Okay,
Like
just
it's
keep
just,
going.
You're
like
so
it's just,
funny.
but it was 12-0.
I know.
By the way, the fact that you have a closing like Georgia did is exactly what you should be doing in a closing, especially when you're dealing with jurors that are not always the most sophisticated. I mean, he's saying exactly what we teach, and then you go to that little Rashbaum, and I couldn't believe how immature his closing was with regards to the puzzle pieces, and it was so gay when he's in a weird way that he's saying, "Oh, I love puzzles as a kid." You lose your command of the room when you're talking about playing with puzzles as a kid. What did you girls feel when you heard his closing?
Okay, well, that's not politically correct for you to use gay as a derogatory term, so
I
let's
use it
not
as a
say
good,
that.
as use it as a positive term.
Gay is good, okay? I
Yeah.
do legal work for a gay organization, so Okay. So
No,
just
I don't use gay
you
in a negative. There's no negative connotation to gay for
well,
me.
you were
That
just
was
using it
that
as a
was negative just there what you said though. I thought.
yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
Oh,
you but yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Can
Well,
we get
maybe
back?
I get what you're saying, and that's not how I just.
Jesse
What's the?
lashes with a wet noodle.
It was immature, and it wasn't sophisticated enough. It wasn't commanding the way he was saying it, and then his
Yeah.
whole closing. Yeah, the gay people know I love them, so
Mm,
That's
okay.
good. I'm glad.
Okay. So
I don't have.
let's get back to the transcript because we're not even halfway done, and I
That's
don't
enough with it.
3 hours tonight. Okay.
I want to hear
Okay.
more about Patty.
Okay. You will later. We'll do
After we
another
finish,
show.
that will be your reward.
Is your
Show.
husband black?
Is my what?
Husband black?
No.
Okay. Yeah, my friend, actually, my attorney that represented me in something, he loved Asian women, Patty, loved them. But then he marries an overbearing Jewish woman. You know, like his whole thing was Asian women. Like he had bent down to a specific sect of Asian women, like French, Hawaiian, Polynesian. That was his thing. And then he ends up marrying a girl that is Jewish, and he never dated a Jewish girl in his life. He loved Asians.
Well, people like what they like, so you don't have to be pigeonholed into some specific
Right,
race,
yeah.
right? Yeah. Okay. Vince, keep it in your pants for Wendy.
For when
Who
I
said
am not
that?
attracted. I am not attracted to Wendy at all.
Who
I
said
Most
really,
that?
happy.
Most days happy.
Okay,
Nice
this
one.
show is just definitely veering off path here because usually
Yeah.
my shows are not this raunchy. Okay. So let's get back to the transcript because this is
all
going to
right.
take like 4 hours. Okay.
Even
Where are we?
Sky was saying, like, Charlie, I couldn't believe like all the stuff I was watching on TV. All of a sudden, all these commentators were like talking about how, you never really put up a defense witness on the stand, and every was saying you held your own.
Yeah, you more than held your own.
Like I had answer. I explained everything. I held my own. I read text messages on Dan's phone afterwards. It was like the person just sent me. It's like, he's communicating with everyone and Dan, and it's like Dan's a closer. I showed up on Monday and it was Dateline special with Dateline special and photos.
Yeah, get that a minute. Gary back. So I'll talk to you, okay? Yeah, yeah.
Listen, but in the end, they would have convicted my dog.
What did you say?
I said they would have convicted my dog.
Oh, I know.
There's no one they would have.
I know. It was the conviction that was bad enough. It was the shock because that was not expected. That was absolutely not expected. That's
it was like it wasn't even a consideration for them. They deliberated for 2.5 hours. She's calling a mound of evidence, cut and paste text messages that don't show anything. The same messages they had in 16. They didn't arrest me. All the stuff they had in 16. And Willie Meggs came out and said, this is not evidence. If you arrest him with that, you get ready for your civil suit. But no, you're right. But no, what he didn't have was 6 more years of media pounding, Tallahassee telling him we know what happened. Oh, Patty, how do you feel about that local
no, it's not.
Attorney coming up with that bullshit statement that Donna Sue turned down that plea agreement to flip on Wendy?
Well, I understand that people don't like to reveal their sources because they want to be secret. But in my view, if he does not reveal who told him that, then I'm skeptical anything was ever said. And I think he said it with ulterior motives. So that's what I
Such as
think.
what? So obviously we're referring to the fact that this guy, a local attorney, claimed that Donna Sue turned down a plea deal for which if she turned on Wendy, she would get out of jail and not have to serve any more jail time. This guy, it was completely debunked. He failed to actually retract his statement. And when he went with that Greek attorney, that good-looking Greek attorney, he was asked about it, and all he did was ramble for at least 7 minutes, Judy. And I couldn't listen to it after a while. He just would never admit that he made a mistake and that his source was not good. He didn't check his source. He didn't check the reliability of what the source was telling him. And then
Or
he makes
maybe
this representation.
maybe he didn't even care. I mean, I still wonder what are the motives behind constantly being on different shows, saying all sorts of stuff and changing your stance on things. It's like he wants to be seen as a very important person, or worse yet, maybe he is getting paid as a consultant in the background because, as Mentor Lawyer reported, it turns out that Tim is the attorney again for Mickey Easterwood, who is someone who is now sort of involved in this whole case.
Who is that?
Mickey Easterwood is a jail, what do you call it, cellmate
Snitch.
of Donna Adelson's, and now this lady comes out claiming that she witnessed Drina purposefully asking questions of Donna. So now Donna's attorneys are using that as a reason to try to suppress these statements that they got from Drina Barnhart, who is the informant for the state. So,
Yeah.
it just seems like, something's a little strange going on there.
Do you think that Charlie just claimed that he's going to testify so he can see his mom and sister maybe one last time?
No, I don't think so. I have no idea what's going on. Yeah.
I mean, not that he's going to testify, but he's here in Tallahassee.
Okay, let's get the train back on the tracks, okay?
Ah.
Because, like I said, I don't have 3 hours, and I'm sure you guys don't either. Okay, let's get through this. Okay, so you're talking about Willie Meggs and complaining, and then Donna says,
who's Willie Meggs?
Oh, he was the state attorney for Leon County up until about 2016-ish.
Before Jack Campbell.
Yeah. So people blame him for not going after the Adelsons and not arresting Charlie back in 2016 when there was a arrest affidavit for him.
You both believe that Wendy Jill is going to get arrested?
Yes.
I think so.
I think so. I mean, she's been named as a co-conspirator. They needed her to testify as a witness for all these trials. So, okay, let's get back to it, okay? Donna says it's not.
Today, Judge Everett was reading the statement, and he didn't say co-conspirators, but he did reference other people involved in the actual murder. He didn't say Wendy Jill, but or other people. Yeah, I heard that. I wasn't sure if
more into that later. Yeah.
Okay, so 6 years of media pounding. The Markels are trying to get innocent people arrested, their kids taken away from them. How about the irony is that the only people that were trying to keep grandkids away from anybody, it was Dan. They're the Markels. That's the irony. And when you see the kids, you see them for an hour. They don't do them a hug and kiss. They see them for an hour and they have no desire to see them again within the next year and a half. Okay, so they got their grandparents' rights. So what do they do with it? Nothing.
Well, that didn't come because it hasn't passed, and it's not going to matter because even if it passed in the Florida of the legislature, even if it did, which it did not. I mean, part of it did, but it did not. It has nothing to do with anything. It's still up to Wendy. It has nothing to do with them. Grandparents have no rights in this country. None. I want to go see grandchildren that a family member doesn't want to let me see. I have no rights. None. Doesn't matter what.
What it basically, listen, Ruth Markel spent more time in her book at her book signing than she did with her grandkid when she finally got to see them. That's a fact, Jack.
Yeah.
Way more time sitting at her book site and talking to strangers than when she finally got a chance to see her grandkids. But nobody knows that. That's not gonna come out. The ex-wife, and again, they finally see the grandkids, see them for an hour, give them a hug, a kiss, and they haven't asked to see them since. That's the truth.
Yeah, it's the truth. The truth. What happened?
Instead, when Wendy said that's unconstitutional.
Hold, honey.
Yeah, Charlie. Okay, Charlie. I got 2 messages came in. Hasselbrook says that the jail should today, they should have my cell on file as his attorney.
Okay.
They should have it. He said today won't work, but I have tomorrow and most of next week. It looks pretty good.
Okay, so keep a note in your head tomorrow to give him a call, yeah?
And the other thing is, our family lawyer Gary? Are you our family lawyer Gary? I just got off with him and he said he's gonna call Leon County
And register.
and register. So you can call him also.
Okay, but I have to give him. Do you have Gary's number?
Actually, I think I do. 561-445-5098.
Hold on. Checking it now. Give a second. Wait. What do you have for a cell?
561-455-5098. God damn it.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, one.
Yeah, he's got it.
All right, good. Okay.
Right, you got that. You got Hasselbrook tomorrow to Gary send the paperwork.
He's sending it right now. He had to get one other piece and then he's sending it, and you have to go downstairs and get it notarized. Yeah, I will. It's I you know what, I might be missing a line here. I will. It's on early. I don't know if they close, but I can ask. I was right in the middle of a couple things. Time, that's all right. I don't know if my copy printed out here.
It's because the transcript, like you couldn't pick up all the words.
Judy, try and stay in character, please.
That's good that you'll be able to check it.
Yeah, if there's anything I need to do, that's...
Right. No,
You know, Mom, it was just a shock because everything, like Dan said, everything had come in so well. It was like, it was put up to me, and he's like, it depends how you testify, and you see how it goes. He's like, you got there, but we got to see how your testimony goes and how your cross goes the next day. You know what, Mom? It didn't make a fucking difference in the world.
No, because your testimony was unbelievable. And your cross was very good. There was nothing wrong there. So,
I mean, look at the cross. She tries to. That's the only thing that Sky said to me. She said that she was seeing a lot of positive things online because people were writing positive things. People were opening people's eyes. They're like, oh my God. They were saying like a defense attorney should never put the client on the stand. And there I was, like on the stand. I was doing a good job, and I was telling them what happened. Johnny Cochran said the road to prison is paved with defendants who take the stands, and we know we're going to see that probably come up. Now, I did see Donna Sue looking better. I don't think she gets to dye her hair, but she's doing something with her hair. But will she be allowed to dye it before the trial?
well, she could, because they do have some sort of personal care products that she can buy from the commissary. So I recall seeing Wet and Wild cosmetics as part of the list of possible things you could buy. And I think they probably do have hair dye. You know, they have things like lotion and lipstick and eyeliner, things like that. And maybe Jackie could just bring her a box of do-it-yourself hair dye. But I think she wants to keep it white so that she can look more sympathetic.
Older, yeah.
Old granny look.
Yeah.
Sympathetic.
Yeah, that's a good point. So a lot of people don't know that you are entitled to dress for court in regular clothes before you are convicted. So she can wear whatever she chooses to wear. And obviously, if you are convicted, then you're in the prison outfit. But she will be able to dress better than what we've seen in the past.
Mm-hmm. Yes, of course. Okay, let's keep going. Okay. Charlie.
And you go ahead, and then the next thing you know, you're being told that everything is great. You know, like my head, I hope we don't hang, not I hope we get a juror to let us hang. My vote, my thought was like, if we hang, we're going to have to do this again.
Yeah, of course.
But people don't let this be a hung jury, because if we hang, we have to go through all this again in 60 days from now. And I was worried about a little bit about, but I was saying to myself, what I hope, it's like 10-2, 11-1. but you go and get all 12, if it's like 10 to 2 or 11 to 1, you're still in the run back the second time they hang. They're not going to let it go. We're going to go through all again 60, 90 days sitting there. And I'm thinking like, well, November, probably at least 60 days and then bump back. And it sucks. But hopefully we get in and we should give a good verdict. I mean, it was like someone was run or had run the football back and there's 1 yard line and they're about to score. That's what I felt like. And Dan out to get the football, and he's awesome, and he's the awesome closer. Like really felt like ball's back in our court, and he's going to be running in from 1 yard line to score. Can you imagine a Jewish little attorney running the football in from the 1 yard line?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
did I say that out loud?
Keep going.
My wife's Jewish, so I can make the jokes. And Monday morning shows up, and we've worked in from Friday afternoon till Sunday night.
Of course. That's much for sure. She just.
No, it was cut and paste. The whole trial, like the mountain of evidence. What's your mountain of evidence? Why? My sister wrote a book. My mom sent some crazy emails about the things she never did in 2013.
Right.
Like, what does this have to do with me? What happened? It just painted the picture of we hate you all, and like tie it with the photos, and you got a jury that's eating out of the palm of your hand and saying use your common sense. Is exactly what happened.
That's right. It's third grade trial language.
Yeah, what's that?
She made a third grade trial out of it. She really.
Her summation, it was a bunch of lies.
I know.
You summed it up, distorting the facts and saying, well, rely on my memory from the trial. No, don't rely from what you just saw the last 2 hours because it was a lie. Rely on how you felt from the trial. Well, I hate to tell you that the only thing people remembered when they went back into the jury room was what they just saw 2.5 hours the morning, a mountain of evidence.
It's the most upsetting thing in the world to have the state who presents their case first end their case. It's supposed to be the defense ends their case.
What do you mean? It's not supposed to be like that.
Well, he says that's a very unfair system to do that because it's the defense that should be ending their case, not the state. The state opens and then they can close, but then the defense should have one last opportunity. No, they don't do it that way.
So whatever Dan said, she was able to poo-poo his puzzle pieces. There's his mountain, yeah, like put a mountain of shit against someone who like articulated all the things that are wrong with your case beyond a reasonable doubt. Like if you ask anybody who has any real feelings, you would be getting like beyond reasonable doubt. There's no other way that could have possibly happened. No explanation to anything. What she said in her opening with me is that you have an explanation for everything. Okay, that's right. There is a reasonable doubt to itself if I can explain everything, and that's reasonable doubt when she said that.
Yeah, I know. It made me crazy. Like, could the jurors not understand that if there's any possibility of anything else, it's doubt? That's what doubt is.
It's not you all use common sense. If you think you're guilty, he's guilty. Well, I think it's just on the surface, this means I think the Chiefs are better. I'm going to beat the Dolphins. That's my common sense. Yeah, I think, Wendy showing up there is crazy. I think that, when common sense tells me the crazy, that ain't right, but that's actually what happened. So if you're asking someone if it's crazy, if they don't think that it happened under normal circumstances, I agree also. It's just that I did it, and that's not what happened. So both you girls think that Wendy Jill driving near the house is somewhat incriminating?
Oh, of course. As soon as somebody told me that detail, I was like, oh my God, she definitely knew about it, or she was involved in that. But there's tons of other puzzle pieces, so I know you're trying to be the typical old white guy apologist for Wendy. But let's not go down that slope because we're trying to get through this transcript, okay? Please.
I like the sign near their house. It doesn't say speed bump. It says something else. like speed hump.
Speed hump? What?
Yeah.
No.
Yes. You girls don't pay attention to details
Oh, I
like
did.
I
No,
do.
I did see that. Yes, I
I
did
never heard of
notice.
a
That was
speed hump.
weird.
I thought that was my
Yeah.
wife describing me in bed.
Okay, are you like Charlie? You just
I'm like Charlie, but I don't talk. I
down
don't
and
talk
start
about
talking
Talk
myself.
about
about
yourself.
yourself and go ham and yeah,
Okay,
go ham and talk
guys,
about yourself.
this is not the
Your
normal
girl's mind is in the
direction.
gutter.
My shows are dignified and stick to legal facts. So we do not even get R rated here, right? So okay.
Not when you have us on.
Okay, you guys have to come on after the case is over. I'm desperate for content. Okay, thank you. Okay, so keep going. Where are we?
More of this? Charlie's still in
Yes,
jail
we're
here?
almost done. Okay, so Donna murmurs in agreement.
You know, like, it's crazy that you use the word TV. Got used absolutely. Doesn't mean that we were using TV as a code for murder. That's insane. But it showed up 3 times. So your common sense tells you that it's got to be something, but you're not. You're not convicting someone on life because it sounds like what sounds good. And the word was used 3 times, you know, like a TV repair. Would that have to be the worst alibi? They cancel half the time. They push you, they bump you to the afternoon. I mean, many times at a delivery, an appliance would not get moved. The only thing with this is that Geek Squad is not like your traditional cable provider where you never know when your cable person was going to show up. No one uses Geek Squad, so they're going to be there if you want to have someone show up on time. For us, at least, when we get cable, they'll give you a window of like 17 hours for which they can show up. But I feel like Geek Squad would be a good method to give Wendy, Jill an alibi because they will show up on time.
Yeah, but I think she still was given a window of time and was surprised that the person showed up so early and, quickly assessed the situation and was like, okay, it's a busted TV. We can't fix it. Bye. But she still had to call Charlie and talk to him for 18 and a half minutes over whether to repair it or replace it. Doesn't make any sense.
But in fairness, like when you're speaking with Charlie, every conversation's 18 and a half minutes because he just keeps repeating himself and he loves being in the control, and probably Wendy is that ditzy to the point where she needs it.
But they just happen to be doing all this talking while the murder was about to happen. So timing is everything. So, okay, let's get back to the transcript, please.
What about this guy, Carl, that Judy's fighting with? Do you know anything about it?
Is this your show? We can do this when we're on your show.
What's his deal? I mean, I want to make this pledge to Carl. Judy misses you. She's not mad at you. And she wants to talk with you again. I don't know why they blocked Judy. Out of all the people in the world, I mean, I'm used to getting blocked, but Carl, take Judy back. She's on your team, right? This guy, Carl, is convinced that Wendy's guilty. Judy loves that. So I don't think there should be any animosity.
Okay, why are we bringing up this YouTuber trauma? I think it's water under the bridge. People can block who they want, and I focus on my channel and my supporters.
Have either of you thought about what bridge the gun was possibly thrown off of?
Oh, hey, I'm sorry. Let me address this. Tim Jansen is not currently Easterwood's attorney. Okay, is that true? Okay, I'm sorry if I'm giving bad information, but please look at Deep Dive True Crime's recent video from just a few days ago where he did address this issue, and he has the correct information. So,
see, was that hard to make a correction? That guy, Tim Jansen, cannot make an admission that he made a huge mistake.
Well,
instead, he just gives excuses and excuses.
I don't know what the truth is because he is still saying that he did speak to a source who told him that info.
Okay, well, I'm the lawyer, but what I heard was deals being made, between the prosecution and the defendant are highly confidential and they're supposed to be kept secret. So in my thinking, Jansen's a lawyer. He knows that. Why did he even release any information about a deal anyway? That wasn't his place to do it. If anybody did, it should have been Jack Campbell making an announcement or whatever. So whether it's true or not is almost a moot point. He did something he knew he wasn't supposed to do. Why? I just think that's really sus.
Yeah, you made a great point before about that, and now it's even better. If he doesn't release this source, then how credible is he going forward? Because if you're claiming that it was a true source, and let's say he believed the source, but clearly if it's not true and it wasn't true, then he failed, and he just has a problem admitting that he failed big time. He looks great. I mean, he's got great hair. He looks great, great suit. But if you're going to come up here and tell me that you can't admit to your mistake, and it's a huge mistake, then you lose credibility with me, for whatever that's worth.
Okay. Well, I think his microphone sounds fine to me now. So you guys let me know. But people keep saying your microphone was too low. But that could have been before you changed it again. Okay.
That could be an old troll, Judy, where they tell you that even though it's not. I'm more concerned about it going
Mona
over.
is a serious person, right? Mona, even though she does wacky comedy, I don't think she would just be
Mona
joking
said
about
it,
this.
she's being honest.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Come on,
more of this
y'all are
Charlie thing?
lawyers, and I said y'all on purpose. Okay. Aren't TVs the only thing that have gotten cheaper as years goes by? Charlie should have told Wendy, I'll buy you a newer and better TV. You'll have it tomorrow. Well, she had her own money anyway. She could have just bought, and even Lacasse offered multiple times to
He offered to
get
go
her a
buy
new
one.
TV, but no, she wanted that busted TV to stay there until July 18th for the
Right.
Geek Squad guy to see
Had to
it.
have her alibi.
Lacoste would have bought her a 100-inch TV and went to China and picked it up for her. This guy was so in love with Wendy Jill.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And I
very
think
sad.
she wouldn't let Jeff go in the back bedroom and set up the DVD player on the other TV. How much you want to bet in that back bedroom? She was already packing up in stacks of boxes. Like when
Yeah.
she went for her police interview, she looked like she had been packing those clothes. Like I think Carl calls them gardener clothes. Someone had said that looks like packing clothes.
Yes. Okay. So people are saying your mic is fine now. Okay. I had to jump through a bunch of comments because I'm way behind. Let's get back to the transcript, okay? Because really, I
we're still
don't
going
have
with this
3
thing?
or 4. That's what you signed up to do. You agreed to do the reading as Charlie. So please fulfill your obligation. Since
I
I'm
just
willing
want to stick it in and talk about myself if I'm going to be Charlie.
Okay. I know that's what you like. Okay.
In case you don't know, she's a lawyer. She could sue you. You better do your job. You agreed to it.
You're right,
Carry
Patty.
on.
I'll stick to this script.
Okay. Let's go. Where are you?
But when you start packaging it up with what, quoting all these people, whoa, we got all these people saying stuff now. And look who's saying, Jeff Lacasse, even Wendy. Wendy came out there, but I didn't remember Wendy saying it like that. She twisted her words around. It's like even his own sister.
Where are we? Oh, yeah.
It was said.
You skipped some lines, but let's just keep going. Terrible.
Don't remember how. I don't remember the word she used. I just remember no.
It said the same thing. When she was saying that, I looked at Dad and I went, that's not true.
Where were they looking at Dad? So they were watching, I guess, from their house?
Yeah, I'm sure they were watching on YouTube.
Patty, is that true? They were in their house?
They weren't there. They weren't in the courtroom.
No, I know that, but I wonder where they were watching this.
Oh,
Probably in the condo.
yeah. I think in the condo on YouTube. That's
Interesting.
problem.
Okay, keep going, Charlie.
That's not what happened. But like I said, she's like, even your own sister was on the stand. We asked her, it's almost like she's using Wendy to back up her conviction that I'm guilty. That even his own sister said something along the line, whatever she said at Wendy, said I don't even remember.
Yeah.
But just making it so folksy, like his sister, his best friend, his Jeff Lacasse, we all get these statements, the mountain of evidence, the text messages. What? Because I said you're the best?
Yeah.
Wow, tell everyone I was in a relationship with the next five months when it was probably more than 5 days. Never saw her, hung out with her as my girlfriend again. So why is she saying 4 or 5 months? She carried on a relationship.
Because she's lying. Because she's making up a story.
Yes, Whitney's living with me. I'm not going out on dates with Katie. I mean, the 17th was Whitney's birthday. We went to Puerto Rico.
I remember.
Yeah, like it was an amazing trip. You know, I wasn't dating Katie at the time. I wasn't dating Katie at the same time. Katie was done that week. But like we were starting, you're making a lie stating facts, putting together a Dateline special with the folksy. Like, what the fuck did we even come up here for?
You're restating, not restarting. Okay. Yeah.
Think about it. The case came out perfectly for all the people who were who have intelligent brains and watched it, who, you know, weren't all drinking the Kool-Aid. These people know a lot more than I did, and you know, fantastic. Dan's so happy. We had a jury that was screened by Josh Dubin, so we were able to eliminate all the blacks and the bad ones. The problem is that there were no good ones. There were just ones that weren't as bad as the others, and that we get rid of.
That's right. I do.
You know, I mean, basically, got rid of somebody. I've been as bad ones. They got rid of them. You can't tell me that there was not a reason why the one guy that wouldn't have been a jury of my peers, that was of my intelligence superior, said I never would have convicted him. He understood the seriousness of, y'all, use your common sense.
Charlie, hold on, Charlie. Hold on. Hold on, because I'm texting with Dan. He'd like you to call him now. Now. He's in the car for the next 30 minutes, okay? Then you can call me back.
Yeah, see you guys. I'll call you.
Love you.
Bye. Can you picture old Roshbaum counting his cash, getting the fuck out of Tallahassee, and having to deal with Charlie just for a little bit longer? I mean, it sucks. You lost the case, and obviously it's a huge loss. But a little Cashy still got paid.
Yeah, that's why he bought his new house soon afterwards. Yeah.
Is that true?
Yes. Yeah, he bought a new house. It was less than $2 million, but it looked gorgeous. You know, housing is a lot cheaper in Florida. Has a swimming pool, you know.
It's almost as big as Patty's mansion.
Yeah. Well, okay, so we're finally done reading the transcript. So if you guys have any questions or comments, let's see.
Yeah, I got a few. How tall was that guy Lockett?
Oh, I think he was 6'8". In my memory, he was 6'8".
And how many inches?
Are we talking about his height?
Come on.
Because he's, 6'8". Is 8 is the inches of his height.
Vince, Patty is a nice grandma with multiple grandchildren, and I don't think she wants to be talking about such crude and salacious things on a internationally viewed podcast.
Well,
does anyone in your family know that you have fiction for black guys?
No.
Well, now they do.
Actually, when I was younger, I discussed it with my grandmother because she loved black men too. She was the one who taught me the phrase, once you go black, I should stop this. And can I just make a little disclaimer here? If I've made if I've offended anybody by talking about black porn or this or that, I realize I kind of have crossed the line. But in my defense, I just wanted to say I'm really slap happy. I haven't had a lot of sleep. I've had some illness and I've had a lot going on at the same time.
She's a cancer survivor. Okay, Vince, have some respect for the grandma.
I'm leaving for Tallahassee Thursday morning. I was planning to bump it up a day and go tomorrow, but it's just been crazy. I don't think I can get ready that fast. So I just have to be there before they're done with jury selection because I don't want to miss any testimony. But I'm a little bit sleep deprived, and I know I get slap happy. And I actually love Vince's sense of humor. So, I just want to say that put that out there.
And I just want to say to the black community, you don't have to have all these excuses or diseases to be into black guys. That's what she's into. And it runs in the family, obviously. And I said it before, you have to have empathy for the person. And it never starts from the actual person. There was always a history. And I'm sure Grandma was definitely watching the basketball team when she was growing up, and that's what basically trickled down to you, and there's nothing wrong with it.
Vince, can I just say something in all seriousness? When you're attracted to somebody, to me, race or the amount of melanin in your skin doesn't come into it. I look for what kind of person they are on the inside. Do they make me laugh? Are we kind of on the same page? And not race. I just think it's kind of funny. You're so into this. Have you ever dated an Asian or a Jew or a black person?
Yeah, that seems so like 1980s, being obsessed with race and interracial
It
relationships.
makes Vince kind of funny in a charming way. I like it personally, but I know there are some people that maybe don't, and that's why I'm kind of apologizing. But I am totally cool with Vince. If you ever have him back on, I want to be on.
Okay, you guys can come back
But
on again.
when you see an interracial couple, a black and a white, you don't think about it when you see it? Because I do. It's the first thing I think about, and I'm not sure what I'm thinking about in a negative or positive way, but I see it and I just immediately think about it.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
usually think of what? That they're interracial?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's the first thing I think about. I don't know why. It's not negative or positive, but if I saw two white people, I wouldn't think about the couple. But then when I see an interracial couple. Now, do you know that the most
Honest.
popular interracial couple is a white guy and an Asian female? That is by far the greatest. And in my building, in my floor, there's five couples out of 7 apartments, and that's what the arrangement is.
Yeah, but you're in New York City. There's like tons of different races and ethnicities. Everybody's mixing it up and stuff. And in fact, isn't it true there's really no Little Italy anymore because it's been taken over by Chinatown?
Yeah, taken over by your people.
Yeah,
She
there's
knows
like
that.
tons of Chinese people, infiltrating and moving to Flushing and taking it over. It's like Little Taiwan, I heard, in Flushing.
Yeah, which is common amongst immigrants to go
Yeah.
to
For the
one
place.
area, and
Yeah.
the Italians went to Brighton Beach, and now it's all Russians, and
Mhm.
eventually there's a melting pot. But like you said before, you have parents that say this, but then if you bring home the center of the basketball team, Luckett, your mom would be pissed off. And same
Right.
thing with Judy's parents,
Yeah.
especially with Asians are very prejudicial when it comes to who they're.
Really?
Yeah, very. Because I know, I mean, I'm basing it upon one person, maybe.
Immigrants.
Yeah, because I have a friend, Min or Lou. She's Chinese, and her parents would not allow her to date anyone but Asian or white. That was it. And white would be the backup. First choice would be Asian. But I think
Well-
it's common amongst most immigrant groups that come here.
Yeah, but I think after a couple of generations or a few generations, it just disappears. Like my ex-husband's family, like nobody in his whole extended family married another Chinese or Asian person except him marrying me. So it was funny, at the Chin family reunion, like most of the people were either white or look sort of white, except for me and him. So it was just really
Yeah.
kind of bizarre because he's like 4th generation Chinese American, from Boston, or his parents, let's see, from New York and Boston. So anyway, yeah, so why are we talking about this? This has nothing to do with Dan Markel and the Adelson case.
We're
Vince,
just
are
speaking
you?
of grandma's love for the dark meat. That's all.
Well,
we did
that's
like chocolate.
Well, I like milk chocolate. That was always my favorite flavor. When I was a kid, every time we went to Baskin Robbins, I wanted chocolate ice cream and Hershey bars. So, but anyway, why are we talking about this? Let's see what the
Yeah.
chat wants to
Let's
ask.
talk about something else, about the case.
Yeah, Patty,
Who-
how do you feel? How do you feel about this case? You pumped up and ready to
I,
go?
I am extremely pumped up, and I think it's going to be wild. I just can't wait to see all the testimony. Wendy, Robert, and also these lawyers that Donna have are far superior to Rashbaum, so they're going to really put up a fight. This is going to be a fight.
Yeah, Jackie
But
Fulford is
yeah.
supposed to actually be a pretty great attorney.
That's
because
what I
she was
heard.
the
I heard
prosecutor for
I
most
heard
of her
the other guy.
career.
Yeah. The
So
other guy
she's-
too, I heard, has a good reputation. Alex Morris. Is that his
Yeah.
name? I can't keep these names
No,
straight.
no, that's the old attorney.
That's the
It's
other guy. Okay.
Josh
Josh
Zelman.
Zellwig.
Yeah.
Or no. Well,
Zellman.
whatever his name is.
Yeah.
I can't keep straight.
Yeah. Well, Charlie get a new trial. No. That's my short answer. Mainly
There is a
because,
chance. There is a great chance, though, because of the
there's a
conflict.
small chance. That wasn't brought up in his appeal, though, because that
Oh.
would be
Right.
something brought up with the motion for post-conviction relief later. But Joe Patuto went over the appellate brief with me, and she also concluded that, he doesn't seem to have any winning appellate arguments. So
Yeah, I agree. I forgot that it wasn't really the focal point of their appeal, but apparently everyone says how great the appellate attorneys are.
yeah, but the facts are the facts. So, I don't feel like he has a good chance of winning on appeal. And I
Patty,
hope
do you think
not.
this case is going to blow up like the Karen Reed second trial did? Because the first trial was sort of under the radar a little bit, but by the second trial, it became pretty big. I mean, there's not much else going on in the law tube world where everyone's jumping in now on this case. And it could be as big, and it should be even bigger given all the different aspects this case has. Do you think that it will be as big as Karen Reed?
I think it's very possible. And in a way, I think some of the blowing up already has started with that. I was in court the day they had we're supposed to start jury selection, and instead it was the conflict of interest, and Rashbaum got thrown out.
Yeah,
So,
you were so disappointed. You had to turn around and drive home.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is there
Well,
any?
that's why I'm not going up for jury selection either, just in case something happens again. Because
Yeah,
Yeah.
Patty, is
I
there
don't
a
trust
wait?
you.
Is there always room in the court?
I
far,
was
yes.
only there the one day, and oh yeah, but and there was plenty of room, but that was jury selection. A lot of people don't go for that.
Yeah.
But during Charlie's trial, if you watch the camera when it panned to the gallery or whatever you call that, it looked pretty full, but not exactly packed, except
Yeah.
maybe till final statements or concluding statements.
Closing.
Thank you. Closing statements. It looked like it was very full. So, and
Yeah.
I think I don't even know if I would go to Wendy's trial because I have a feeling that might be a zoo. Like that's going to attract even more. So.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. But with regard to,
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
hey, look, it would be good for business if it did. I just don't see the evidence there yet for her. Now,
Well,
if it does
that's because
change,
you
I will
don't
be
know
there
the
and say
case.
that.
You don't know the case well. So, by the way, this happens to be my show. So let's answer some questions here and then we'll call it a day because I have tons of work to do. So, I think the trial will start Friday. Today seemed to be very efficient and it's a positive sign that they already screened through 26 people to move on to the next level of screening. So things look very positive. And somebody else asked, where can they watch all this stuff? Yeah, unfortunately on YouTube, as you've probably seen, they only have little snippets of those shows available. So I think some people might have put bootleg videos on other places.
What are you talking about? What show are you talking about?
These special specials about the Markel case.
Yeah, it's out there.
Yeah.
It's 2020 Dateline.
I had a hard time finding it.
Outlaws and In-Laws, it's called.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, Patty, were you treated by Harvey for dental care?
Oh, yeah, right.
No,
so you work for Harvey.
I had my own dentist, but while I was working there, he noticed my anterior fillings were discolored, and he offered to replace them all for free before my wedding on my wedding photographs, which was really nice of him. So, yeah, he did several anterior fillings, which are all gone now because these are all crowns. I have bad teeth, but from here to here, that's all crowns.
Oh.
So, but yeah, he did those fillings. I thought he did a good job. I thought he was a good dentist, and I thought it was kind of him to offer to do that for me for free when I only worked there 1 day a week, and it hadn't even been but like maybe a year that I worked there. And that's one thing I do about Harvey. Like I'll spill the goods on him, but I want to give an accurate representation. If there's a good side to him too, then I'm going to say that.
Sure.
Patty, I had a theory that dentists always hooked up with their assistants for whatever the reason. And it's always been true, but I think someone like Harvey probably never cheated on Donna if he's a
I
true supply to a narcissist.
I agree with that. That I don't think he cheated on her. But how would I know, really? But
You were there one day a week, and you
I
weren't
wouldn't
part
guess.
of the cult.
Yeah, I
office
don't think
cult.
he would have.
Did you ever work at any other dental offices?
Many. When I
So
first,
so how is my theory though? And it's a serious theory that I have.
it's not something I ever. I mean, I can't even think of one example of it. I know one time the assistant was really flirting with this dentist, and he would. Yeah, this is never mind. This is probably going to get into TMI, but yeah, there was
Nah,
some.
come on.
No, give us TMI.
Okay,
Yeah.
We're
okay.
done.
The dentist sits on this little round stool with his legs to the sides,
Yeah.
with the patient's head leaned back kind of between his legs, and the assistant's usually on the side. Her assistant moved her chair in real close, and she wedged one of her legs in between his legs and the other one to the side. And who knows what wiggling her knee might have been doing. You know what I mean? It was nobody else sat like that, and people talked about it.
Yeah.
Patient had 4 teeth ripped out by accident.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, so white men and Asian women have the lowest divorce rate. Well, my cousins who are married to white guys are still married. Yeah, but
But that's
joke
not why.
around-
That's not why. They just have a good marriage.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
a sweet.
I don't think you should put so much into race, really.
Oh, I do. I put everything into it.
But in a way, that's a point, because if someone's very in tune with their race, like culturally, that could cause some conflicts. Just like Dan being truly Orthodox Jewish, and Wendy being Jewish, like I heard Kathy say on her channel, Jewish.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a great
then
point too. But with anyone that was going to marry Wendy was doomed because of the way she was brought up. The second it got a little bit hard, she's out. And you hear her talking about the marriage. Marriage sucks. You're going to not have sex with kids, but you have to try and make it work if you want to make it work. There was no chance in hell. You're not going to get a better guy than what she found. Her only complaints on the stand, if you listen closely, when DeCoste was asking, Chris DeCoste was
DeCoste.
DeCoste, the best, by far the best trial
that
attorney
was
that there was.
awesome.
By far. Yeah, he's a grandmaster out of everyone that I've seen in this whole, in all the trials.
definitely.
Yeah, so when he asked her, her response was, yeah, he loved the boys, but then she had to add, and his job
He loved
too.
his job. Yeah.
And I was thinking, most women out there, that's exactly what you want. A guy that doesn't love banging so many chicks on the side, doesn't love drugs, doesn't love gambling. He loved his kids and his work.
Yeah, he's
What
making
else do
money.
you want?
Yeah.
What else do you
What else do you
fucking-
want?
And he loved her. He adored her.
Yeah, he
adored
didn't
her.
want
Well,
the
everyone
divorce.
does. That's good.
Yeah.
When she filed for divorce, what I heard was he showed up and literally got down on his knees with flowers and begged her to take him back. He
That's not the
loved
way to get her back, though. I know that's
Well,
the problem.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know.
But
I
it
know.
just goes to show he,
Look, we have to acknowledge that Dan was smart, but he wasn't good in picking women. You have to be able to.
I
spot
agree.
Wendy.
I agree that non-kosher food at their wedding should have been a real eye-opener to
Yeah,
him.
big red
'Cause
flag.
When I put myself
right.
in that situation, I got a new son-in-law coming along. I'm going to bend over backwards to make sure I get it right at the wedding reception and make him feel really welcome and a respected new part of our family. And Donna, that was a smack in the face. It was like, hey, buddy, you think you're wearing the pants now, but I'm controlling everything.
You're 100%
that
right.
was.
You're
Yeah.
a narcissist doesn't care about your feelings. They care about showing control, and that was all about control. It had nothing to
Yeah.
do with the stupid food.
From the
You can
very
eat-
start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
totally agree,
somebody,
Patty.
just to answer some questions, somebody said jury selection, how long do you think it will last? Well, so far it looks
8
like
inches, we said.
it might last 3 days. So hopefully they'll be able to start with opening statements as soon as Friday.
Yeah.
So
Right.
we'll see.
You don't
And
think there's any chance they'll
I
start
don't know
Thursday?
the answer to this. Huh?
You don't think
What?
there's any chance they'll start Thursday?
No, I doubt it. I mean, because
Yeah.
there is a lot of general publicity about the case these days. So
Okay, good.
who knows? Yeah. So, okay. Well, it seems like most of the comments are positive with us going off the rails and stuff.
Well,
I'm
good.
thinking, Luckett is probably way over 8 inches, by the way. I'm just saying in
Well,
terms of proportion.
Come on,
I
guys.
wouldn't know.
Let's
I would have
not.
no idea.
Patty is a grandmother, okay? What if her grandkids are watching this show because they want to see grandma on YouTube?
Yeah, what if your
I'll
grandkid says
warn my
another
daughters
bucket
not
for
to let-
Luckett?
God. Oh my God. Okay, let's see. Huh? Okay, interesting. Jackie may be a good attorney, but she's still dirty. Yeah, that's right. I mean, she, what was it that Webster said? That she faked cancer and she had the people in the DA's office all thinking she had cancer when she really didn't. She
That
was
pisses
just
me off. You know
leaving
how I
the
feel about
office.
that.
But
Yeah.
in reality, girls, you need someone that's willing to take crazy risk in order to win this. If you are a Donna Sue, that's where Charlie was so mistaken in choosing Rashbaum. There was no performance, there was no show. He was way out of his league.
Yeah,
Oh, by the
yeah.
do you know who the second best is? The female attorney from the first and second trial. I was watching her today. I don't know her name.
Kawas. Tara Kawas.
Tara Claus?
Yeah, I would have
Katie's
her
good?
represent. She's great. I mean, she's getting there, but she's great. If you disagree, that's fine. But do you think
I corrected myself because you're an attorney. I'm not, so you would know better than me.
No, that's not true though. But if you would have had, besides having Chris represent you, out of all the attorneys, who would you choose if your life was on the line?
Out of all the attorneys, who would I pick?
All the attorneys that we've seen so far in trials 1 through 3.
Well, I'd have to do some research, but I tell you, I really like. Well, no, that she wouldn't be defense. I like Sarah Dugan. I think when you're saying how great Cross was, she crosses people like that too. She doesn't do as much of that, just little bits in the trial. But you see her, I think she like says, okay, so you said this, blah, blah, yes. Okay, but this happened, right. So that was a lie, right? That was a lie. Like she really henpecks them. They got to admit that was a lie.
You're right. You're right. I forgot about that. You're right, because usually we hear Georgia. Now, you got to be careful when you choose a career prosecutor, and that's the problem that Charlie had too, is they have it totally different than a real defense attorney. Because Georgia goes to sleep at night, she wakes up, she can read her questions, her life goes on, meaning that if she wins or loses, it goes right on. A real defense attorney puts their life into the trial, puts everything is on the line here. Even their future is on the line here. So it's a different mentality that they have. You usually don't see the best defense attorneys coming off of being a career prosecutor. So yeah, but that would be a great choice. I forgot about her as well.
She's not defense either.
But even so,
if I got in serious trouble and needed a defense lawyer, I would probably call Judy and say, Judy, help me. How do I pick? How do I pick?
I don't do criminal defense.
I know you couldn't, but I mean, where do I even start? Because I wouldn't be just taking any old Dan Rashbaum and his
you want someone with tons of experience.
Exactly.
So I always refer
a good conviction rate.
I always refer people to my old firm because the two partners in charge, they have been public defenders and criminal defense specialists for, say, like close to 30 years. So why would you want someone who's never even done a murder trial to defend you in a murder trial? That makes no sense.
And you're referring to Little Rashy, right?
Yeah, exactly. It didn't make any sense, and they still paid him a ton of money. How stupid of them. I just wonder
Hello,
if they
Judy, I swear to you, this black guy I didn't kill him. He's dead in my bed, but I did not kill him. Patty? No?
What? What? Okay, let's not be offensive. We do have some viewers who are African American and probably pretty pissed off. So, yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm really sorry. I don't mean
Why would they be mad? Patty's in love with them. They have the number one fan here.
I'm trying to get through the question because I don't have 3 hours to sit here and keep talking.
And I was implying that the black guy was having a great time with Patty. She needed a criminal defense attorney.
Potential jurors passed through today because I was too busy working today. Okay, so let's talk about this, Vince, since you have a channel and you seem to be like a newer person jumping in to take advantage of the popularity of the Dan Markel case. So how's your experience been? Have you seen a lot of views and a lot of positive feedback?
Yeah, the channel that I have focus really on the Karen Reed case, the one that I'm going on now. So any videos that you put out relating to that, even today, will do probably double the views of a Markel video. But I started with this case first, and I did a whole video on critiquing Charlie's cross-examination, and I graded him as if I was grading my own client. And I said that he scored about a 2% right in terms of how he did. And I was so shocked that he was so unprepared to testify at trial. And I did those videos. I got maybe 1,000 views. And I got lucky with the Karen Reed case with regard to the videos. And since then, that channel has really taken off. So yeah, there definitely will be a bump, but it all depends upon if you're just sticking to this Markel case. But for sure, you're going to see an increase, especially once the trial starts.
Well, is there more to cover in Karen Reed? I mean, it's over, isn't it?
Yeah, but part of my deal is that I like to make comedic videos.
Yeah.
And I can do it from almost from any type of trial. We do try to do it. And we have great editors, we have great writers, and they try and get it down to 14 to 18 minutes. And that's where Judy and I always conflict. The second I put out a video, Judy's there telling me every single mistake that we made. And unfortunately, it happens when you have a 14-minute video.
No, it's
Patty.
also when you don't have good researchers and people who really know the details. It's not because of the length of the video. But, you know, like I said, I'd be glad to help you, give you information, you know, answer questions and stuff, because I hate having inaccuracies. You know,
Patty,
really
you should see the videos. The second I put them out, they wait for Judy, and somehow because they give her the thumbs up because she's making fun of me or she's saying of the things that I did wrong, and they all love it. They never say anything nice about me. It's always how great Judy is.
Well, yeah, but you know, she's correcting you just to be helpful. She's not doing it to pick on you.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm not trying to be a pain in the butt.
Yeah,
type
she's
person.
just and being accurate is important. You know, but it's not a reason for one podcaster to pick on another. And you get to the point where people are almost paranoid. Oh, I made a mistake. I'm going to get attacked. And
that's,
you know,
I think Judy has that issue, Patty.
Anybody can make a mistake. But the important thing is, once you know the truth, own up to it and apologize and go on, you know?
Yeah, and then that's the Tim Jansen issue.
Won't do it,
It's okay that you made a mistake. You have to watch his interview with the lawyer you know. It was 8 minutes of him explaining irrelevant things as to why he gave out a false representation to everyone about the plea deal.
Yeah, and I mean, I was kind of pissed off because that led the other guest, Julia Janae, to start saying, well, maybe they don't have a strong case against Donna or Wendy. And then Tim chimed in and said something similar later. So, of course, you're getting all the trial followers all riled up and upset. So, I mean, what's the point of that? I guess to get more clicks and views, but
Patty, if you had a
I
date,
didn't like it.
If you had a date, King Tato or Judge Everett, and a real date, real dating, not joking around, on the street, bring him home, your husband, you're single, which one would you choose?
You know, just because you might feel an attraction for somebody you see that you know you'll never be with, it doesn't mean I would go out with either one of them if I was single and they asked me out. You know what I mean?
But you have to, otherwise
I just think they look nice, you know.
Yeah, but like if you had a date,
okay, if my life was on the line, obviously it would be Stephen Everett. Who would go out with somebody who's murdered, or you know, that'd be scary. I wouldn't date somebody who's unalive people, or he was a driver.
Yeah.
But.
That is a scary thing because when you do have an affection or an attraction towards King Tato, but then you remember that he was involved with this. He does try and distance himself a little bit in his proffer and his interview with the FBI, and he's saying about how mad he was after the fact. But then again, you have to remember that you're dealing with people that they didn't have any money. They were in a different situation. He was born into this gang, and that's why you have to have empathy. You can't just judge. You can't be like me and just judge people based upon their skin color. You have to really know who they are. And unless you're born into that situation, you cannot judge. As much as I want to judge, you can't judge.
That's right. It's really not fair to judge people that are living in poverty. And to think about being a someone who's a little bit more on the poor side, and they live in Miami. The cost of living down there is terrible. It's through the roof. I don't even know how people can live down there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't think King Tata was living in the nicest of areas. It was like North Miami.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Well, just answering some questions.
Well, ask away because I can't see that.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think Wendy will try at all to help Donna or totally lie and forget? Well, she might say some stuff to help Donna as long as it helps herself too. Just to say stuff like, yes, my mom was a great person. She really helped me out. She was taking care of my children after Danny died, and we really had huh?
You think she's going to say that really? Because I'm thinking the more convictions going on, I think she's going to keep trying to distance herself. Before she was glowing, oh, my mom won the spelling bee and got kicked out of Weight Watchers. She was too thin and all this, like, oh, she's so compassionate. I don't know.
No, I think she would probably still say that as long as it doesn't make her look bad.
Right.
So some things are fine for her to say. Like, yes, my mom would help take the kids to school. She would cook them meals. She would babysit when I had to travel to conferences. Then
kill
she
their
would take
father.
Yeah, exactly. So she could go around to hotels with her boyfriends and stuff and go party and stuff. Then her mom would do all the babysitting and all the hard work. So I think that she might gratuitously say some stuff to sort of help Donna, but only to the extent that
it helps her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what can she really say to undo what's there with regard to Donna's guilt?
Yeah, she'll just act stupid. Like, I don't know what's going on. I was so busy raising my children and working hard that, I don't know what Charlie and my mom talked about. We never talked about it because it was under the advice of my attorney not to talk about it. Yeah. So, okay. Well, thank you, Otto. That's nice, but that's a gross generalization. Let's see.
What was it? I didn't hear it. I like gross generalizations.
Asian women are very pretty. Well, some of them are pretty ugly too.
That's so horrible to say.
That's racist. Yeah, no, but I guess that's nice to say. Let's see. Yes, Wendy blames her mom. Okay, if Judy and Vince work together again, it should be Judy visiting Vince's channel and totally hijacking that. I don't think I would be that like that. I'm not that pushy of a
You girls are much more raunchier than I am.
Have me on your show.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, have Patty on your show. You'll get views. Yeah, you can sell it as, Adelson's angry employee tells all, And you can claim that Patty had a relationship with Harvey because
nobody knew what we were doing on our lunch break.
Yeah,
Patty, how did you find that job?
Patty wanted that extra check, if you know what I mean.
Patty, he was drilling me. Yeah.
Patty, how did you get that job?
How'd you get that job with Harvey?
At the time I was single. I had 2 jobs. Each one I did 2 days a week, and I earned enough money that I could totally support myself, and I was fine. I've never
How'd you
been
get the job?
I can't remember if I saw it advertised. I think maybe one of my bosses told me about it, and did I want to pick up a 5th day? And so I said, well, I'll think about it. So I went down there and met Harvey and talked to him. And he paid well, and I didn't know it was going to be such a strange office. So I thought, yeah, I can pick up another day. And actually, that's why when he canned me, it didn't really. I didn't really need that job to begin with, so it wasn't like.
Why'd you get fired?
This is what I think is why. Because when I came home from my wedding, my honeymoon, and we were in a bad car accident, and it hurt my back. And I had to be out of work for about a week because when you clean teeth, you lean over. It's really stressful on your back. It's a strain on your back. And so he called me. He called me at my condo. This is before cell phones. And now looking back, I think he only called to see if I answered. Maybe he thought I was still like at the beach and partying or whatever. But of course, I was in pain, and I answered. And he said, Patty, you have to come back. You're the only hygienist I want. And I thought, I just felt so flattered because I thought, well, I don't want to be like a braggart, but I did take my job seriously, and I was always extremely respectful and kind to patients. I had mercy on them if they were fearful or whatever. So patients liked me. They were happy. So I did a good job for him. So I kind of believed them, but in the end, when they hired a temp to work for 1 week to fill in for me, and I think Harvey started asking her, do you need a job? Because I think he was worried I wasn't going to come back, and I was stringing him along.
So why did they say you were fired?
Well, when I called the office manager, Charlotte, to tell her I can come back on Wednesday, she said, "Oh, Harvey hired the temp, and he doesn't need the two of you. I don't know what he's going to do." And that was it. And the next day, his assistant showed up at my condo to pick up my office key. I never even spoke with him.
Yeah.
Did you ever
how
interact
rude.
with any of the witnesses that were called on behalf of the institute?
Yes, she did. Clarissa was there.
Clarissa, yeah.
Which one was Clarissa? The
Clarissa,
dopey one. The dopey sort
she
of
looked
Caucasian.
she looked like she was maybe had taken some Xanax or something. She seemed kind of like a little bit
Yeah.
slurry, but she did better. I think she was just nervous. She did better at subsequent trials, I thought.
What was her main purpose? To give the hours or something else?
I think they wanted verification that Katie never really worked there.
Yes, that's right.
And was getting a paycheck because it was part of her payment for her services for what?
Patty, was Donna in the office a lot when you were there?
Never. No, she was. That's why I keep thinking Wendy was 3. I'm thinking she had littler kids, so she was home with them. But I'm wrong. Wendy was like 7 or 8. So in my memory, she was really petite though. And when Donna came over to my other office to bring me my paycheck, I remember her coming right into my room holding this little Wendy by the hand. But I guess she was 7 or 8,
Did you ever interact with Charlie?
No, Charlie was at my wedding, and Wendy and Harvey and the office manager, Charlotte, they were there. They invited themselves. They brought their kids who were not invited, and I was married on a cruise ship, which had told me no more than 35 people. They gave me that limit. My husband and I are both from big families, and so that was kind of hard to stick to. And I had some very good friends who asked if they could bring their 2 kids. And I knew they were a young couple kind of struggling financially, like a babysitter would be a burden. But even to them, I had to say, I'm so sorry, but no, I can't, we can't because of the confines of the cruise ship. So when Harvey walked in with his kids, I was shocked because they were strict about this. They had me write a list of all the names, and somebody at the port, at the entry to the cruise ship, was checking off names, and nobody could get on unless they were on that list. Wendy and Charlie weren't on it, but in they waltzed, and I just felt so like almost humiliated or embarrassed that other people are seeing these 2 kids here. And when I told them no, I just felt so
but it's
bad.
your boss. What did you get for a wedding gift?
Nothing. That's why they were
I
so
didn't ask
rude.
you.
I guess it was maybe it was my fillings. I don't know.
Yeah, your dental fillings.
Oh, they didn't give you anything?
No, but I don't, it's not something I've even thought about over the years because, I think they really wanted to come to the wedding because I think it was a novelty being on a cruise ship and all. Because
What
Charlotte
ship was it?
It was a Royal Viking Sky.
Oh, that's a great ship. I know my cruise
we
ships.
went on a 4-day cruise. We went to Ocho Rios and the Bahamas and Labadee, Haiti. While we were,
you must have been in heaven.
While we were we were at the Bahamas. No, it was in Jamaica. While we were in Jamaica, we were in port, and we got off and we were shopping in this little area, and somebody started following us. Some guy, squirrely guy, So we're almost getting into a shop, and he comes up behind me, and he's like, "Oh, do you want to buy some?" And I can't remember if it was cocaine or weed or something.
Weed, it's weed.
And I was so angry. My husband looked at me and said, "Patty, do you think we should?" And I don't encourage them. And we went into the shop, and we come out a half hour later, they're still there waiting because they think they have a sale now. Wealthy Americans, right? So, and then we were on a van to go back to the ship, a cruise line van. So it was a big van. And as we were coming around a corner in a real remote area, there were all these guys there with, I didn't see any guns, but they looked like they were going to ambush us. I was so scared that there's like lot.
You were probably waving all those black guys into the bus. You were hoping they would ambush you.
Stop making fun of poor Patty. She's regretting mentioning that.
We went to Dunn's Rivers Falls and
I know, in Ocho Rios. Yeah, I told you, I'm Jamaican family.
it's a park. You have to, I can't remember if you have to pay to get in or something, but you're in a park, right? We're going up the falls. We get halfway up where there's a bridge. I'll be darned if there isn't a drug seller under the bridge trying to sell us stuff as we go under that. Like, how do you get in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
My dad started dating a Jamaican woman, and so for years we would hear the stories. But we went there as kids as well, to Dunn's River Falls. And the white people need to wear the water shoes. They just can't do it without because it's too slippery. It's a fall waterfalls, but you climb up it. White people like to do it in Ochos Rios.
Oh.
So yeah, and
It's much easier than it sounds, because I remember when we were going up, there were even older people, like the age I am now. There were retired people going up the falls, so it wasn't that hard.
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's not like a Niagara Falls. It's trickles, but yeah.
Okay, let's answer some questions in the chat, because Vince, you keep telling me to ignore people in the chat, but I think people really are here because they love the live interaction. So first question, somebody wants to know, are you going to live stream some more? Because they miss you on your channel. Yes.
Yeah, not until all the trials are done. So definitely not for a while.
Why? Are you
So
too
Pat, I used to do a
stressed out?
show Monday, Wednesday, Friday, then I did it Friday. It was all Howard Stern ex fans, and that's where I sort of had the craft going, and I could do the live shows. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's sort of where it comes
Yeah.
from. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's too time consuming with all your other stuff.
Yeah, not necessarily. It's just the market's not that big, and I don't necessarily love it, but I miss it sometimes. But not something I'm doing anytime soon. Unless, of course, all this crashes, then I'll go right back to begging them to watch my show.
Okay, well, you're picking up some followers here, but we love your like little videos where you hired these actors to reenact all these comedic things, right? Can you tell us your secret, or should I not?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the times people think that it's AI, but it's not. We have actors, we have a studio,
Yeah, right.
we have animals, we have a lot of things going
You
on.
have the rhino. You hired a rhinoceros to be in your video.
Yeah, Patty, one of the judges cited our channel's video as being real, but technically it was Turtle Boy's motion, and they thought Turtle Boy did it. It's a whole big issue, but yeah, there's a lot of things going on with the channel, and it's been great, and I love it. But the reality is, I just don't have the time for the live shows now.
Well, I'm gonna get over there and check out your channel.
I'm trying to think if we have any black guys on it, Patty.
right? Yeah.
You had the one with Shadrick. You had the one
Yeah.
about
Oh, we do have
Shadrick.
one of Shadrick. Oh, by the way, Shadrick had contacted me. Do you know Shadrick, right?
Yeah, I believe
Of
it.
course.
Believe it. The best witness ever. So it was great. Miss Judy had spoke to him, and Miss Judy was texting him, and then all of a sudden I see a message from Shadrick. I've never been more excited in my life, and he's making fun of me. He's like who's this cracker honky with the white hat with the cap? Saying, because I called him Cedric, but you know who called him Cedric was King Tato. And I did make the mistake. I got it wrong. I know Shadrick. I love Shadrick. I watched every single one of his videos. I don't even know what the fuck I'm watching, but I love it. I mean, he basically takes videos of black guys dancing in Tallahassee. I love
him
it.
and his friends
I
dancing
subscribed
around.
to his channel. I remember when he first made it, but I don't think
I
I've ever
forgot.
seen anything lately.
Yeah, I'm sure you probably
I
watch
like
every
him.
single one of them. Yeah, I love him too. He's a
I like the way he called out that lawyer for trying to really make a stereotype out of him and keep implying he's like a coke dealer or this or that. And then what did the guy said? Well, didn't you ever melt crystal meth with a
Or
flame?
crack.
And,
Have
like,
you ever
some-
seen
and
crack
he says
being
to the lawyer, "No, have you?"
love it. Absolutely love it. Now, this is interesting because I was going through this, and this is a technical question, but it seems to be that someone rented the motel room. It wasn't Shadrick for the first night that those guys got there, because they were sort of differentiating between the guy who got them coke, which was Shadrick, and someone else that first night, the crackhead that that King Tato was referring to. Judy, is there any truth to that? She's always busy with the chat. She doesn't
I'm sorry,
listen.
I was
This is
reading.
what I told her.
What's the question?
I think you're mistaken between first night and first trip, because I believe Shadrick got them their room on the second trip, the first night, because that's how they ran into him. What's his face shot a bullet through the fuel line, and they
Yeah.
had to
Yeah.
pull over, and he helped them get an auto part or something. And that's when they said, "Will you go down there and grab us a room?" So that's what I remember. And so
Yeah,
that
sort of.
you
I
would
think it
mean
was the
first,
second night. It was the
the
night
first,
before the killing on the second trip, obviously. But
yeah,
what I'm referring to is King Tato was referring to someone as a crackhead. Now I was getting mad because I don't want to call Shadrick a crackhead, but so apparently for the first time they were down there, they offered a crackhead $20 to get him the hotel room. And I think you're right. It was the
oh, yeah,
first night.
June, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but I love. I know. Obviously, you love Shadrick, and your grandma would too. But I love him as well.
Okay. Well, there's some other questions like Charlie's disability. Yes, it does seem pretty fishy because he started making the claim against Berkshire Life Insurance in fall of 2016 after Sigfredo and Lewis had already been arrested. And I'm pretty sure that's after he saw his own arrest affidavit released. So, I mean, it does seem pretty shady. And he did talk about, well, I think he was talking about the profits of the dental practice going down during his civil deposition, but I don't recall the exact timing of things.
Yeah, Patty, you're in the dental industry. If your dentist is
I'm not
accused of,
anymore.
well,
I'm
you
not
may.
anymore. I'm a nurse now.
All right, just go with it for a little bit. I was
Okay,
not gonna get.
okay.
Is it good for business if your dentist is accused of murdering somebody, but he's still not in jail yet?
You know, to be honest, it's not very good for them. People don't
Yeah.
like murders.
Yeah, I'm sure
Well,
they
how about
lost
the
a lot of business. Yeah. Yeah. Because even Charlie said during his civil deposition that there were at least 2 or 3 dentists who quickly cut their ties with him and didn't want him working in their practices after
Yeah, I
all the
remember
news
that, hearing
media
about
started
that. Yeah,
covering things in 2016. And good for this one, there was one doctor in particular who wrote Charlie a very pointed letter just saying that, he didn't appreciate Charlie's responses to his questions about Dan Markel's murder, and so he didn't want Charlie working for him anymore. Good for that guy for having some principles.
I feel
Yeah.
so sorry for anybody who got implants by Charlie, because he had his lawsuits and failures, and his daddy pulling strings, and him threatening sexual harassment to even get his diploma in periodontics. He hadn't done all the work. So this
Yeah, but I
man
thought
had
only Katie got them. There was someone else.
No,
what?
dental implants. What?
Oh.
What are we talking about? Okay.
I don't know, but
Okay. Yeah, we're way behind on the chat, so I'm sorry if
Okay.
I'm not answering questions and stuff. So Patty, you're going to go to the trial, right?
Yep, I'm leaving Thursday morning as early as I can. My idea is I'm going to get up there by noon so I can attend the afternoon session. Thursday.
How long are you staying?
I'm going to stay to the bitter end. I might not stay if the jury's out several days deliberating, but I bet you they won't. I'll bet you'll be fast like Charlie's. But I
Where
can't.
are you staying?
I'm staying in a motel.
Any of the motels that are involved in the case?
Well, one of them already shut down. I think those are like,
Yeah,
crack
no, the
den
other one-
type places. Yeah.
When I choose a hotel, I do my research to make sure it's good, and I look up what the percentage is of their Black employees. Then I know where I want to go. See?
Really? Because what I do when I go to Tallahassee is I just go anywhere and I look for Shadrick and I say, hey, get me a motel room, and he does. Anything you want in Tallahassee, apparently Shadrick is around to do it.
Well, they did pay him $20 in cash to do that. Yeah, so I'm sure he was happy to. Plus, he was living out of his car in the parking lot, so he was
Believe
right
it.
there. Yeah, believe it. Yeah. So let's scroll down and we'll call it a night. Thank you guys so much for being here. I know it's really dragged on a long time. So
Fine, thank you for inviting me and having me. And I
Sure.
think Vince is really funny. And for me personally, I get so amped up from all the emotions from this trial. And I like some comic relief. I appreciate it, because I did see someone else, I think they're gone, but they commented and they said, I liked your show, but Vince was too inappropriate for me. I'm leaving or something.
Yeah.
So, teach his own, right? But for me, I like comic relief.
They didn't leave, Patty. They didn't leave anywhere. And by the way, Vince loves those comments. The worse, the better. I haven't seen any negative ones that will ever offend me. So I like it. Yeah. And you know what, though? In all seriousness, when you're doing a comedic show, there was a time when King Tato describes the murder, right? And this was in the last edit that we did. And then all of a sudden, everything gets super real. Even the FBI agent, the Tallahassee cop, and the guy's attorney, everything is silent when he says, we stopped the car, we pulled up, he got out and shot him 2 times. And things change. Like, comedy changes, the life changes because of that. And I always realize that. And you try and be respectful as you can doing a show that's supposed to be funny. And we had to take it out, believe it or not. It just dragged down the entire thing. But I will always acknowledge the fact that there are people that have died in both these cases. And that's what makes us so attracted to all this, is that, unfortunately. And you have to admit that to yourself. But it's a serious issue, but we try and bring comedic relief to it the best we can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Patty, were you drinking water from a vase?
It looks like a vase. This is one of those Coca-Cola glasses.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Did you see that? I don't know. Where's oh, there we go. See Coca-Cola? But it probably does look like a vase.
Hey, Shadrick, if you're watching, look for Patty. I mean, I think she's into you, or at least have some friends for Patty.
Yeah. No, I feel bad because
he likes fancy fiction. He's got a thing for her. So yeah, he doesn't.
Shadrick does?
He doesn't want an old lady. Yeah, he loves fancy. Oh yeah.
I don't even know what that is. So
fancy fiction is a podcaster.
Yes. So, Shadrick has never commented on any of my videos, so I guess he doesn't like my channel. But I keep offering to pay him for an interview. But during one of the Deep Dive True Crime live chats where I was typing and he was there, this was over a year ago, he said, I don't want to be in no interview. So I was like, darn it, because I would love to have an interview with him. Yeah.
Black guys usually like Chinese food. I don't know why he's not giving you the time of day with regard to that.
No, I think the real reason is that he does have a criminal record. So I'm sure he doesn't want to be asked all these pointed questions about himself and his personal life, what he's up to. Yeah. I don't think he wants to do it because he probably has some skeletons in his closet.
But the reason why we're attracted to those types of witnesses because they're so honest and they don't care about all of the formalities of being in court. They're not, yes, sir. I can't stand when witnesses say, sir, and if they're not naturally in that environment. And you saw that with Katie. They tell you, oh, say yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am. But then once you break her, all of a sudden everything breaks loose. And that's the problem when you start to act like someone you're not. And that's why Shadrick, that's why King Tato are so appealing to us.
They're so authentic.
Compared to a Wendy Jill who she would get convicted of murder despite the fact that she didn't do it. If she testified and she was accused of murder, she testified at her trial, she would be convicted. That's how unlikable she is on the stand and probably in real life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just surprised she doesn't know that. They all ooh and ah how smart she is, the valedictorian. But I know more about how to, if I was guilty and I was on the stand, I could do a better job of trying to be, like, first of all, be respectful towards the Markels and the fact that they lost their son, and don't be saying stuff like, was he a good father? But he was into his career too. Judy, you mentioned that before.
Yeah, that was so petty.
Again, it's lack of they're not being prepared properly, and that goes to I see it a lot on every level. They're just not prepared. You're right. You don't have to be respectful. What you have to be is authentic, but you also have to answer the question, and it only comes with practice. A lot of times attorneys will just say, just answer yes or no. That is not acceptable. You have to simulate with all of your witnesses because they're all different, and you have to break them to the point where they know what they're doing. They're being authentic, but they're not giving or being an abusive type of witness, just like that response was.
Yeah. Hey, Patty, do you mind answering this? I was joking earlier, but do you think Harvey and Clarissa have a thing going on? It would make sense.
No, I highly doubt it. At least, but
She and
I haven't seen these people in like, I don't know what, 40 years, 35 years maybe. But I know I was newly married and Clarissa was newly married too. Cause we were young, giggly girls and we'd compare notes. But I just, yeah, I can't picture that.
How
And
many years
Harvey,
into your marriage
especially,
you start cheating? Like 7 years about?
I don't
the
think it's,
7-year itch.
I don't think it's years. I think it has more to do with how your marriage is going. And if you're feeling ignored or neglected or I don't know.
Well, for you personally, was it more or less than 7 years?
When what?
You started to cheat.
When I started to cheat, I haven't cheated. I have not cheated
Let's
on my
stop asking
husband.
such weird personal questions.
Yeah.
Okay, this
Have you
isn't a
cheated? Have you
romantic
ever cheated?
podcast.
No.
Are you acting like Wendy now, like shaking your head when saying no?
Well, don't take your paramour to a Coldplay concert.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Okay, okay. So Vince, you'll like this. Somebody wants to ask you a question. Will you do a live with Turtle Boy? You two are a hoot.
Oh, can I just ask, who is Turtle Boy? I don't even know. And I keep hearing mention of this Turtle Boy. And I thought they meant that little kid who was interviewed on a TV news and they, instead of answering the questions, he said, I like turtles.
No,
you know what I mean?
no, it's a
I
totally
don't know
different
Turtle Boy. Who's Turtle Boy?
He's a good journalist who really spearheaded the Karen Reed entire defense. And you have to give it to him whether you like him or not. He's very aggressive, which I like.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for him, Karen Reed probably would be in prison right now, as crazy as that sounds. And that's the crazy thing about these trials is the fact that as a trial attorney, you get help from everywhere. And in this situation where Karen Reed, she needed help, she needed traction, she needed media, she needed money. They raised over $1.5 million for her defense. So it was serious.
Wow.
Yeah. So Turtle Boy, no matter what you think of him, he saved Karen Reed's life.
So have you been contacted by him? Because I've seen some commenters saying Turtle Boy wants to interview you.
Yeah, a lot of people want to do it, but Judy, that's not necessarily what I do now. It's more about putting the time into the performance, and as much as that sounds cheesy, it takes up a lot of time because I still have a law firm that I'm managing as well.
Well,
Believe
if
it or not.
you to be
Believe
on
it.
his show, would you do it?
Probably not. It's not my thing. I don't know. And a few other people I've asked. It's just not something I generally do. But I do go on your show.
Yeah, because I'm thinking you'll be on my little channel. Then why don't you want to be on his like $160K subscriber channel to promote your stuff?
Yeah. Again, one thing you will never hear from me is I'll never ask you to subscribe. I'll never ask you to like. I don't take a second away from the audience at all. And this is something that I preach to our clients that are in this business as well. I never block anyone for any reason. I tell that to Miss Judy all the time. I don't care what you say about me. As long as YouTube allows it and it's not illegal, you can say it. You can say how bad I am. I will never, ever block anyone for any reason.
For no reason? What if you see someone saying horrible things, not to you, but to another follower?
Well, I don't get involved in that. I don't get involved in it. I want people to be as honest as they want. If you hate black people, you hate white people, you hate Italians, as long as YouTube allows it, because there are rules that we have to follow, and it's not illegal, you could say it. But say it, I mean, generally it'll be negative about me, as Miss Judy will point out after the show. She'll show me all the different posts about how bad I am and how they left and they're never coming back. But my advice to small channels and below 1 million, never block anyone for any reason. You got to get over that. Oh, by the way, actually, there was a crossover that the guy who does the show Surviving the Neurotic Jewish Mom, I don't know his name.
Joel.
Yes, he was exposed big time. He's exactly what I preach not to do, is to have such thin skin if you're going to do this. And never bring your mom on. No one wants to see you and your mommy. That's a whole nother issue. But if that is your shtick and that's what you do, fine. But Turtle Boy and him got into this thing, and this guy Joel is like flipping out like a little baby. I've never seen such a bigger baby in a while. So it's just not my thing. Let people talk horrible about you. You will get on with your life, but he reacts to it in a negative way.
Yeah, I didn't see the whole thing, but I was like, well, I support Joel, and STS. I know there's a growing group of people who are saying that they unsubscribed or they don't like STS and stuff. And
It's because of Tim, right? Because of Tim, they're leaving.
Well, yeah, I think it's mostly because of Tim Jansen. And a long time ago, I had told Steve, I was like, hey, you guys should look for more Florida criminal defense attorneys to come on instead of always having Tim, the same person over and over again. But he's willing to be on. So that's why they get him. So.
Yeah, and I respect your opinion, Vince, but I have to disagree with you that I really like Carm. I think she's charming. I think she has interesting things to say, and she's not really on that much. It seems to me she was a lot more maybe a couple of years ago when I first started following podcasters, but I haven't seen her in a long time.
Oh yeah, don't get my opinion. My opinion is not that the mom is bad.
Friends,
this is all. Yeah, I actually enjoy the mom. It's the problem is, again, I'm judging him. You never were raised by a neurotic Jewish mom. He was. So, I mean, and I know she had her trauma going through and that caused, so everything goes back in history.
You're right.
What I don't like is him acting like such a baby. That woman, Carm, I know these old Jewish broads. They're as tough as nails. She doesn't need her little son defending her. But for some reason, if this reminds you of someone, a Jewish boy having to act for their mommy's love as adults. And you see what happened to Charlie Boy.
I see what you're saying.
It is something where when you're raised by someone like that, you can't separate the relation between a parent and a child. Charlie Boy didn't do this at all because he hated Dan Markel. He did it because he needed to win the love of his mother. And one day you will realize that. And the second thing you'll realize is the reason why Wendy Jill is innocent today is because Charlie needed to do this on his own. He needed to be the savior, the best child. He can't
in his
have
mother's
Wendy
eyes.
involved.
Yep,
that's right.
I totally agree. And I think Robert and Wendy both really shined in school and academics, and Charlie just struggled and struggled. And he was kind of like the screw up and the middle child. And I think he was just probably, I mean, who knows? Maybe Robert was like the favorite child when they were younger or whatever.
Yeah.
He was desperate to get himself in that
gifted. He was the smart golden boy.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense then.
And why he would act that way. Like George asked him, "Who's the favorite child?" And he's like, "Well, I'd like to think it's me." It's like, "Oh my God, you're in your 40s? Grow up!"
Yeah. Right? Yeah. And again, like he literally thought that he was going to get away with murder, but it was all blinded by love for his mom, or trying to earn that love.
Yeah, he wanted to be the hero of the family.
He did,
yeah. So this is kind of a strange question. Do you get invited to many paella dinners?
They're referring to the Judy. You should know what they're referring to.
Yeah, because that was what they had at Harvey's 70th birthday party. So I don't know. That's kind of a random question.
I'm not a huge paella fan, but I get it. Now we know that Charlie has an unlimited supply of lobsters and Asian women, and he gave that all up for that love of the mother. Unfortunately.
SD thinks you're too controversial.
Me?
Yeah.
I don't have a stash of black porn like your other guest does, that you found out. I mean, that's cool. That's not controversial.
I was just joking about that. I wonder if I'm going to come to regret saying that. But yeah, I do not have black porn in my closet. I made it up.
Oh, okay. So somebody wants to, so I'll just go ahead and say this because, it's the truth is the truth. So this was just about 4 weeks ago. And I was so excited because Carl was doing a live stream show on a Saturday night, and I have no life. So usually Carl's shows were always way too late for me because of the time difference. He's somewhere around Texas, and I'm on the East Coast. Yeah. So I get on the live stream chat, and I was so happy. I was like, we're here in our community of Dan Markel case supporters, and, we're all in this together. So I was saying hi to a ton of people because we have a lot of overlap in terms of our subscribers. And people were chatting with me and saying, hey, Judy, I love your latest video. I really enjoyed it when you played June. And, I like this and that. And I was like, oh, this is great. People like me. And I'm saying hi to people and answering questions and stuff. And then after a while, I saw people that I know in real life who were getting in Carl's chat. And I was saying hi to them and they were ignoring me. And then I was like answering some people's questions and they were ignoring me too. So I was like,
I don't understand. Yeah, I don't get that.
I got blocked.
You're doing a favor. So I don't understand that.
Yeah. So I wrote a message to John Steinbeck, who was one of the mods, and I thought he was my friend. We were Facebook friends and we met at Charlie's trial. We took pictures together. We had at least two dinners together with other people. And he also bought me lunch one day. He paid for lunch for everybody. I mean, so I thought we were on good terms. So I wrote directly to him through the chat. I said, hey, John, did I get blocked from the chat? And I logged in with my son's account and saw that I disappeared from the chat. I was like, I can't believe this. This is like so insulting. It's like somebody just, throwing you out of a party. It's so bizarre because I gave them advice when he was just a small channel starting out. Of course, he leapfrogged ahead of me in terms of subscribers and views because his production quality is great. He has like excellent sound. He speaks well. He's like an older white attorney.
Judy always goes to his old and white. But so the issue is that they shadow ban your account. So it looks like you're chatting, but you're not. So you think everyone's ignoring you. The real question is, why did they do it?
Oh, wait a minute. She got banned during the show because at first they did see you. People were saying, "Oh, Judy," and then people stopped responding to you. So you must have been blocked for the whole channel. So they couldn't even see your. Oh,
yeah. And I sent an email to John first. No response. So the next day I sent an email to Carl. Granted, it could have been one of Carl's older emails because he has more than one, but I didn't hear from either of them. And it's been 4 weeks. So I'm like, fine, if I'm not wanted here, then why should I waste my time? It's just let bygones be bygones because I wasted all those hours of my life giving them tips on how to grow on YouTube. I emailed Jeff Lacasse's police interview transcript to Carl, didn't get a response months ago. We had talked on the phone a couple of times. We texted, we shared information. I thought we were part of this like Dan Markel community. So it still hurts my feelings that, someone you thought was your YouTuber friend just can suddenly discard you like that. But, it happens sometimes, and it just shows you how superficial a lot of this social media stuff where you think somebody's like your buddy or whatever, it can end in a second. So
yeah, I don't know.
Sorry.
Did you ever confirm with? Yeah, it does bother her because most of the time we talk, it's all about this guy who I
no,
never
it's
heard
not.
Of.
Come on, Carl. I mean, not Carl. Vince.
See,
Vince
she just called me.
Okay, Carl. Carl, why did you abandon me?
Well, I mean, but did you find out for sure that he did block you intentionally?
No, I don't know because it could have been this other mod. I don't know all his moderators, so it could have been someone else, but I'm still kind of hurt that neither one of them responded to my email.
Well, what I do is I create like 50 other accounts and then I just keep going in as other people then,
but
get
why?
a little revenge.
Why waste your time? I'm not going to waste my time. My time is valuable.
Yeah.
Well, is he going to be in Tallahassee? Perhaps you can figure out the reason there.
Well, I think John was planning on going to the trial, so we might run into each other at the same time again. But Carl, I think, was planning on going toward the very end. So I don't think I would see him. But, I'd still be nice and polite to people. I'm not going to be a jerk just because somebody blocked me from his channel. I kind of feel like in retrospect, maybe one of the mods felt like I was taking over his chat and talking to.
That's ridiculous. Anybody who's been a mod, which I haven't, not like you, where you're interacting with your guests and you're going over the content and you're watching chat and you're doing so many things. If you had another knowledgeable person show up in chat helping you out answering questions, that's a favor. That's a help.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure why
Yeah,
they'd be mad.
it makes me happy when people are active in the chat because that means people are having a good time. They're enjoying your channel. It helps the YouTube algorithm, and it saves my voice if I don't have to keep answering the same questions over and over again. Like, when is the trial starting? When is the trial starting?
When is the trial starting?
It already started today.
Well, I mean, the actual trial, the real stuff.
Well, maybe Friday or Monday.
Yeah, you sound a little bit like Jeff Lacasse, if I'm being honest, that you're holding out that 1% chance Carl will come back to you.
Oh, come on. No,
I'm just see Patty a little bit.
He's smearing him because I thought he's a good guy. You know, he's done great for the Justice for Dan Markel community. I don't agree with his assertions in the past where he kept saying that they should have rounded up all of them. If I were the prosecutor, I would have arrested all of them all at once and tried them already. And I'm like, come on, you know, the prosecution knows more than we out here in YouTube.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I never even thought of that. Yeah.
One at a
Patty,
time.
I actually, after Judy told me about this guy, Carl, I love his show. I ran out of Ambien. I put it on. I mean, within 4 minutes, I am sleeping. And I do sleep to shows every night, but I put that one on and it puts me right to bed.
Oh.
But Miss Judy is in love with this guy. And you can hear it in her voice.
Please stop saying that. See, guys, don't believe what Vince says because like 80% of the time he's just joking. Okay. So I certainly did not make it seem like I was in love with Carl. Give me a break, you know. Okay, so people, I'm sorry that people are now saying negative things about each other.
Well, Carl comes from a military background, so he's really righteous and honor, and you know he's got all that behind him. So that could be a part of what influences him to be so he's got like blinders on. It's going to be this way. Otherwise you're out. Like he's just started banning people left and right. And that's very inflexible. And you know, never mind. I'm not going to go there, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, it is what it is. So,
yeah, it's disappointing. It's just disappointing.
You know, good for him, but I'm not going to spend time watching a channel when I'm clearly not wanted by somebody there. So, yeah, because doing my own channel takes up way too much of my free time as it is. Yeah. So.
Well, I do want to say, Carl, keep up the show until the 28th when I can refill my prescription of Ambien.
Okay. Oh, SD, you got blocked? I wonder if you know why.
Yeah.
It's just like a big surprise because I thought we were all YouTube friends. No. Yes, that's right. It's all about getting justice for the Markels, and that's why I'm not.
That's right. Scooby's right.
Oh, really? I'm all about views and making money.
Oh, come on, Vince. Okay. Well, have you been happy with what pay you've been able to make from YouTube?
Because it was like the last. You would not believe in July it was insane, like $31,000 in advertising revenue, which is like the net, because I think they take about 40% of the ad revenue. So that was like a really big month out of nowhere. So it was interesting. But then all of a sudden, like once the case is over, you're back to the grind again of numbers. I don't ever look at the numbers. So whenever I do a show, I see the comments and basically the first 10 and the first one is Judy telling me all the things that were wrong about it, but I don't look at it. So if it's good that month, it is. I can only do a show and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, it's very, very time consuming. So
I don't care about the time. I'm just saying, like, you have to put your energy into doing a good show and not wasting people's time. Or you can be like Carl. Again, everyone has their niche, right? He could put you right to sleep, and I like it. I don't know why you're so anti-Carl. I love this show.
I'm not anti-Carl. I mean, I think he's good work. So
you got that in reverse. It sounds like they have found a reason to be anti-her, and I have no idea what that would be.
Who could be mad at Judy? Who could you?
Judy's so lovable. Yeah,
you can't be mad at Judy.
No.
Well, I mean,
she won't date black guys. That's the only negative I see about it.
That's not true. So anyway, okay. So, yeah, so now people are talking about being blocked and banned and stuff like that. Okay. Yeah, Carl said John will be there. I went and
Well,
did a bunch and a trio. Oh, okay. So we're still on. We need to wrap it up.
yeah,
Yeah.
let's wrap
So
it up
sorry
here.
about that. But thank you guys so much. And I hope you guys will come back again in the future. I know we're supposed to do something together, right? Uh, Vince,
Right, we're scheduled to do a video on a few
tomorrow?
people on the or the
What
next day.
time?
Well, we'll talk about it off, I guess. Air.
Okay. Okay. Because you haven't told me, but I need to plan ahead since I
These
do.
Asians always by
No,
the book. You know,
no, I have a real trial. I have a huge trial starting on Monday. It's like the third biggest trial of my entire career. So I really do have to prioritize things and organize my time for the next 5 days or so. So, yeah.
Patty, you've been married to one person your whole life?
No, I was married when I was in my 20s to a cop. He was a sergeant on the tactical unit, and he was totally different when I dated him. When I got married, he was very controlling, and
Yeah,
it
you
was
can't marry a cop. Cops
it was
cheat.
bad.
I mean, all guys
Yeah,
cheat, but
he
cops
did.
cheat
He
more than
did.
anybody.
Yes, he did cheat, and I remember when he told me when we got married, and he told me there's only two reasons I'd ever leave you. One is if you cheat, and that made me feel real secure because I knew I would never do it, and if it was that important to him, I wrongly assumed he wouldn't either. And then
And
he
two,
said,
if you ever did a black guy.
no, he said, if you ever contact or talk to your asshole brother, he met my brother in prison. And right away, his mom said, you can't tell her that. He's family. But, being a cop, he didn't like it that I had a brother in prison. So, yeah.
What was he such a square for? It's not
I
your
don't
fault that
know.
your brother's in
I
prison.
don't know, but I shouldn't blame him so much. I was young, too, and I don't think I was very good at talking about issues. And we were both young and immature, and he
Yeah,
tried
no
to
one
be.
is. How old were you?
I was 22 or 21.
Yeah, I mean
I think I
that's
was
crazy.
21. Yeah.
It's too young. But it was. But did you cheat on the cop at all?
No, but he
Uh,
cheated on
uh,
me, and I
yeah,
found
they
out
all do.
in a very bad way.
How? I love hearing how you find out.
He gave me 3 types of venereal disease. Luckily, none of them were AIDS or herpes.
Oh, that's
They were
horrible.
they were
Wow,
all
Patty,
terrible, but
I can't believe you're telling us this on a
no,
No, I mean it's
I,
yeah. What the hell's the
it
difference?
might be
It's real
it might
life.
be TMI, but I find that sometimes when you share with people, you don't know who's out there that might relate
Yeah,
to that. And it might
exactly. They'll be like,
be
"Oh, it happened to me
helpful.
too."
And
Gosh,
I'm old. I'm going to croak eventually. So I've gotten to a point where, you know what? I'm just
you
going to
don't
tell
care.
people what I know,
Right.
what it is. If I can help people, I will. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I think it's
yeah.
helpful to share stuff. So
What were the three? I can only think of maybe crabs.
that was one.
Oh,
Trichomoniasis was one. Although
Okay,
somebody since then has told me you could also get that from like stinky wet beach towels that have been, but I don't know if that's
gross.
true.
that's two.
The third one I don't remember, but it wasn't anything like herpes, AIDS. It wasn't like gonorrhea or syphilis. I don't remember, but
Hmm.
and
Happens.
I was so young and naive. And like I had said, I thought he would never cheat because that was so important to him. And the gynecologist giving me the results of these infections actually had to take me in his office and sit me down at his desk. And he said, now you have this because somebody in your marriage has gone outside the marriage and brought it in.
Oh,
And
what an
I
asshole!
said, no, that's not possible. He would not cheat. And I know I haven't. And he had to kind of like explain it all to me.
What
And
was his bullshit story? I would just deny it. I would say that.
it was just science. It was just science. This is the only way you get these kind of infections. And
But he
I
fell for that. I would still deny it anyway at that age. If I was him.
deny it to the doctor.
No, I
Oh,
would
you
deny
mean
it to you. I would say
the
you must have got it from somebody.
well,
Or you had it.
It's
that's
like
what he tried to do in
gaslighting.
court. That's what he tried to do in court.
Yeah.
When we were getting divorced, he tried to say, "Yeah, she came to me and told me I needed to use Quell lotion for crabs because, And he tried to make it sound like I gave them to him. So
Yeah, but Judge, do you ever hear of the center with the last name Lockett?
What?
Another bucket for Luckett?
lock it. I thought you said lock
Okay.
it.
Well,
All right, girls.
okay,
This was
this
fun
is getting a
though.
little
Yeah, sorry, I probably.
Wait, one quick question, Patty.
Sure.
So that guy you're talking about who cheated on you, was that the guy you married in
That was
1986?
no, I married him when I was 21.
Oh,
I married in 86. I would have been more like 30 when I married when I married to now.
oh, so you're still married to that husband that you married in 86 where Harvey brought the kids.
No,
Oh.
that marriage was before I worked for Harvey. That marriage was before I even went to dental hygiene school.
Who'd you marry on the ship?
The current husband.
My husband, Diego.
Right
my
now?
husband, the father of my 4 children. Yeah.
Diego.
Okay.
Now, do you have to tell Diego you had all these different gifts from your previous husband?
Oh my God. I think it was cured by then, right?
You can, of course. I took antibiotics or whatever, Quell lotion. Like, yeah, I took the treatment my doctor gave me, and I have shared with Diego the story of how bad that marriage was. And I remember back at the time, he's like, well, what should I ever do if we ever come across him? What should I say something to him? And I'm like, no. Just totally ignore him.
What is he up to now? What is a cop doing now?
Well, oh gosh. Well, okay, I won't say where because I don't want to. He moved. He was with the police department, and he was the youngest person they ever hired to be a cop. He applied himself. He went through law school just to help his law enforcement career. He went to law school, and then his goal was always to be the chief of police, and it just wasn't happening where he was. So he started exploring, and he moved from Florida to Washington State. And he was an interim sheriff, and then he ran for sheriff when the position was open. So that's what he did. He just retired.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still follow him on Facebook or like Snoop?
No, not real. I'm not on Facebook.
Come on.
I'm not on Facebook, but every now and then, if you just Google his name out of curiosity, and also he got to be a little bit scary for a long time. He wouldn't leave me alone, and he would kind of like follow me wherever I went. I could have an unlisted number, and he'd get it. I think he got it through maybe police connections, and he told me he got my phone. I said, "How'd you get my number?" He said, "Oh, I got it from the dental hygiene board." So I called them to complain, and they said, "Ma'am, we don't even keep track of anybody's phone numbers. We didn't give it to him." So then I called his chief of police, and they didn't want to put the call through. And they said, "You have to go through a supervisor to get to the chief." And I said, "My problem is with one of your supervisors. I can't do that. I must talk to the chief." And they finally put me through to him, and I complained. I told him, he's lied. I don't want to hear from him. He lied to me about how he got his phone number. I don't know how he got it, but it wasn't through the dental. And the guy just was trying to like placate me. And he goes, "You know me. We met once. I know you," and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I didn't care really what he did. I just wanted to do my part, was to inform him. And I wanted the guy.
You should have listened to your grandmother. Once you go black, you never go back. You wouldn't have had those issues. But it was a pleasure dealing with and hearing all your stories. I love them. I like that you're open about it.
Thank you. But we got
need
people
more openness
leaving
in my life.
Okay, people are leaving because we're not talking about the Markel case.
Well, we've only been on for 4 hours.
Yeah, 64 jurors moved on to the next phase. Okay, so this is looking really positive. They're going to have a jury seated in due time, and hopefully something interesting will start either Thursday afternoon or most likely Friday. So we'll be doing some more coverage, and I'm working behind the scenes to get more guests and people to help me talk. Thank you so much, Patty and Vince.
You're doing a really good job, Judy. I'm impressed.
It's lots of fun to talk to you guys, and really appreciate your willingness to be on. So we'll definitely be in touch, okay?
All right, girls. Sorry. And Carl, stop being mean to Judy.
It's okay. Let's move on. Okay. Take care. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you. Justice for Dan.